Picks and bans for KT Rolster versus CJ Entus, game number 1.
Wow, Kalista banned out actually on the blue side, something that we rarely see. I wonder what this means.
Maybe priority on a jungle pick
Well,
first?
you would have thought that CJ would ban the Kalista eventually, though, so why go ahead and first ban that if you can rely on your opponents to just take it out for you? There's a Maokai against Shy.
I think they're just trying to set it up for a jungle pick for score, it seems like. Either a Rek'Sai or a Grungle, perhaps.
Yeah, but the question is, how far does CJ Entus want to ban junglers right here? Because if they don't leave 2 good junglers up, then Ambition might have to fall back onto a different pick. So
I think that's the idea, right? I mean, this match is very much a battle of junglers, among other things. They're going to ban the Alistar against Fixer. Maybe it's setting up for a Bard first pick.
Maybe KT bans Thresh here, actually, just because they may not want to first pick that champion, even though Fixer and Mad Light both very good at it. To prevent CJ from taking the Thresh.
You ban Thresh
in the first round of the draft on red side.
You ban Thresh and then you first pick Ashe. That's what you
Nailed
do.
it. Nope, Azir actually.
Oh, okay.
Which is interesting because both Nagna and Coco are very good Azir players.
KT certainly has a specific plan. There's a Cassiopeia ban. So what is this first pick going to be? What does KT set themselves up for here?
Thing is, you can just ban that Maokai first and wait for the enemy. So they first pick the Gragas.
Yeah, so it is going to be a jungle first pick.
So I don't really get the Kalista ban on blue side. I don't think that actually did much of anything at all. Unless they were 100% sure that CJ was not going to ban Kalista. And the Gnar wouldn't be too surprising. Of course, that's going to make it difficult for Someday to take Hecarim and may force Someday onto something like Rumble in that case. So Gnar Thresh, I think, likely going to be the first picks in this particular draft. The Thresh is a high priority champion between both of these 2 teams.
There was a time where Shy just plain old refused to play Gnar, but times have changed.
He decided that that was going to change after Gnar's nerfs in the playoffs, weirdly enough.
Mind games, Monte Cristo, mind games. Oh, okay, they're going to grab the Rek'Sai as well, too, so CJ not wanting to reveal a lot early on, it looks like, with these first 2 picks.
I don't know. I think the Gnar is the better pick right now. The Rek'Sai, I suppose, could outside chance be taken by KT for a top lane pick, which has been known to happen from time to time if they really wanted to hard deny Ambition. So maybe they're slightly sensitive to that.
Maybe they are worried that it's a support Gragas, and so they need to take the jungle pick right away. At least it was a thing for a short time, you know?
Yeah, it was.
We got a week or 2 of support Gragas in the world of League of Legends.
We did.
We needed more, though.
I would be very interested to see Gragas flex between support and jungle like that. Nagna just going to commit to the LeBlanc early on.
All right, a bit bold, but we'll see how CJ responds. I mean, Urgot's still available. They can really easy just go into a tanky comp here.
So against Anarchy, Coco played Jace into LeBlanc intentionally. So that's something that could come out again. Coco obviously feels comfortable with that matchup. He got chunked out pretty hard early on, but in the later stages of the laning phase, he was actually trading pretty well. He could also take the Kassadin here. That's definitely a viable pick.
Seems like Jace would have a hard time escaping in lane from Gragas and Nautilus if they went roaming, though.
Well, most champions would.
But Jace especially, man.
Kassadin actually has an even harder time escaping the Nautilus Gragas roaming because he doesn't have a knockback to save himself.
True. And will we see this Varus maybe for space? That would be interesting. No. Oh, well. I like Varus. I actually enjoy playing him. He's not that good, but I like it.
Kassadin and Gnar. So saving that AD carry pick, actually picking both solo lanes in one go on the red side. So KT has a chance here to... I don't know what they're going to play in the top lane now unless it's Rumble. They can take Rumble Sivir here, and they'll be in a good situation. They definitely don't want to give Sivir to CJ, so I agree with them locking it in right away.
I think Rumble Sivir would be a very strong composition. But it's going to be the top Yasuo All right, I guess it could be top LeBlanc too, but
So something about Sunday. He does this sometimes.
he does do this.
He's known for playing top Riven in solo queue, and sometimes Sunday will just do things like play top Riven in the finals against the KT Arrows for seemingly no reason. He has this history of like oddball top lane picks that he pulls out.
I like it.
At seemingly random times. So he must think that this is going to be a really good counter matchup to the Gnar. I don't know anything about this matchup, so I can't really comment on it. I think it would be difficult to stop what the Gnar is throwing at you, especially if he all-ins you in the Mega Gnar form with the Yasuo.
Yeah.
And maybe you can bully him out early on.
And if this...
I love the Urgot pick here because it's one less target for the Yasuo to go after once you get that Frozen Heart. And you could just ult the Yasuo too. And Yasuo is so squishy right now that you could just kill him. So that may force Yasuo into getting a QSS, which is really not what you want to do on that champion. So
yeah. I don't know about this. I think it's going to be really hard for Yasuo to get any sort of meaningful damage done onto CJ.
yeah, this composition is extraordinarily difficult for Yasuo. So unless they get a massive early lead, but hearkening back to the match that Jynir played last week, GBM had really good Yasuo roams, moving into the side lanes, picking up kills. He got pretty fed in the early game, and even with that advantage.
All right, welcome to Summoner's Rift KT versus CJ Entus. The fan clubs are out in force for our second match of the day. And Nagne, both the solo lanes for KT, and for a bit of a hard time.
Lots of roaming capability from both of our mid laners, so this could be pretty dynamic in terms of teleport play early on, and there is Score jiggling pleasantly for us.
Thank you, Score. You know what ward skin I like, Monte Cristo? The Mecha ward.
Oh,
It's cool.
I'm not in love with any of the ward skins yet. I like the Dragon Head one. That one's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the Draven Head.
The Draven Head one has a certain amount of charm to it, you know?
So do you lane swap up against this top lane Yasuo? He's just going to sit there and play his harmonica mournfully in the bush.
Kind of gives away your position if you do that, though, doesn't it? In a bush, playing the harmonica.
Somebody not even looking at his screen right now.
Nope. Yep, just kind of hanging out. He's all tabbed.
So here's the lane swap coming in from CJ. And they are going to see Fixer on the bottom side, so they will know they have successfully engineered the lane swap in this situation as Fixer goes to freeze the minion wave. So how does a Yasuo do in a lane swap? This is
not well,
a question for the ages, I suppose. He's going to go ahead and do the Wolf Camp. Can he complete this easily? I'm not...
He's already almost out of mana, and he will soon be out of life. Yeah, can he? Okay, he did. He got level 2.
Well,
right.
he has a shield, so that will help him at least complete some of these camps.
Oh, look at this. Ambition get very low. Fixer with a early jungle invade.
Wow.
Even pops that Ignite.
Fixer could have forced a flash there, too.
I think so.
If he had wanted to. He's trying to just delay as much as possible. Harder to do that with Rek'Sai, but Ambition starting on the jungle on the weak side, even though they initiated the lane swap. You have to be so careful about that because it's really easy for...
Someday and Score right here. Ambition in trouble! And first blood goes to Someday. Wow, well, that works.
So greedy in terms of jungle pathing from Ambition right there. They were the ones who initiated the lane swap, yet he starts Gromp on the weak side. Shy is in lane. Shy is pushed up. Shy can't help him. And Nautilus is one of the best champions at level 1 to disrupt the jungler. He's really tanky. He has that stun on his passive, so it's ridiculously hard to deal with him. And he has a really low cooldown on his E, so he could just stand there and spam that on top of you. So great reaction from KT, but Ambition continuing to try and get that weak side jungle down. And you got to just give that up at that point and concede it to the enemy team.
Wow, and it looks like KT's going to be able to take a dragon from this as well, too. I guess it's hard to have a CJ game without Ambition giving up first blood, no matter what role he's in, you know? Just like old times. But KT with a pretty massive early lead, actually. A lot of enemy jungle. First blood onto your top lane Yasuo, and now a dragon as well, too. I mean, they are positioned about as well as you could possibly be going into this, so it really is on KT to keep this going now.
Yeah, Someday, too, actually did get some decent experience from that. He'll be able to TP into the top side now that they see Mad Life in the bottom lane, and perhaps get some CS right there as we check out some win rates here. And Space's Urgot has been one of the best Urgots in Korea. Just thinking back to how he played it against SK Telecom recently when he was just snagging Hecarim out of all those home guard teleport engages onto the flank.
And that was very
cool
to see.
Yeah, it's one of Space's best champions for sure.
Yep.
As we can see with that impressive 80% win rate. But KT also is a team that when they started their rise towards the end of spring, they did it with Sivir. Sivir was such a priority to their hard engage style of composition where they really dove you heavily in the mid game.
You know, Yasuo fits with that too. You know, you can dive in just the same as you can with a lot of other top lane champs. So KT, you know, sticking with what works just in a little bit of an unorthodox way.
Yeah, getting this advantage too is going to be really helpful. Even though he just has the Everest Blade right now, that's going to help snowball him with that additional gold that he gets from that item. Very helpful tool for him to have this early on in the laning phase. That is a great pickup.
Somebody doesn't seem to be having too much trouble farming. He is doing a very good job of denying CS to Space as well, too.
How do you hit Yasuo with the corrosive charge here? He's just going to dash straight through it, and if he gets hit by a Q from Urgot, it'll absorb his shield. So he's going to do pretty well in this 1v1, I would think, especially since he didn't get denied at levels early on. Score looks for an opportunity right there, isn't going to commit, just pops right through the Baron Pit and will be seen on the Scuttle Crab, which was already taken.
You know, if Urgot does, I mean, if Urgot does lock onto you too, you just throw up the wind wall and then you kind of negate the whole point of it. So it's a good counter in that 1v1. All right, Mad Life lurking in the tri-brush. Arrow intelligently moving away from the possibility of any death sentences. And doing a good amount of damage to Shy in the process as well too. A lot of damage to Shy.
Boomerang blades.
Yeah.
And Arrow just continuing pushing. They want this turret too. KT trying to press their advantage as hard as they can. They got that early dragon. Maybe they can get this tower. Shy's TP's back up, so he's going to get underneath turret again pretty quickly.
Oh, is he just going to get dove though?
Well,
he's almost Mega Gnar.
They know he's there now, but he has no ult at level 5, so they're just going to deny him off the turret. They do know there's a ward in that tri-brush, but don't go to clear it. And here we go. Someday running away from Ambition.
Yeah, not really in a position to fight anyone per se. So he does need to be careful there. That bottom lane turret already taking a lot of damage. Shy trying to save it, but KT will probably be able to kill it pretty quickly and then just send their duo top, I suppose, right?
Well, yeah. And CJ's lack of presence in this game is really problematic because if we look at it, KT, as a result of that first blood, were able to get Someday into lane with in a really nice position. And he's kept up in levels, and he's kept up in CS with Shy. But the difference is that KT has been pushing instead of freezing this entire time. So they got so much damage down onto the bottom tower, and they got the dragon early. This is going very, very well for KT Rolster.
Yeah.
And they're playing it out nicely also. They're using Sivir's wave clear compared to Urgot's early. Urgot's going to have to go back and buy that tier and be in a power trough. If they can get some more gold from that turret onto Arrow, it can all add up to a pretty substantial early snowball for KT.
I mean, by taking the first dragon so early, they will have that opportunity for the second dragon kind of right when Urgot is in that power trough too. So they might as well have guaranteed themselves a second dragon too.
And how's CJ going to fight that? They have no wave clear with this composition, and what KT should be doing is what they are doing, which is just fast pushing. I mean, Urgot, Kassadin, you're not stopping a fast push coming in. So KT has to be focused on these early turrets. Coco's also going to be going for a scaling item with the Rod of Ages. There's, just in terms of power spikes, KT's going to have a huge advantage at the next dragon fight someday now. Just getting a deep ward in.
Yep. Certainly having no issues with CSing at all. A little bit ahead of Shy. And everyone's there to just kind of protect Coco. Play on the Someday there.
He's trying to set up that ult onto Coco with the tornado, but back off for the moment at least. Not going to dive the turret or do anything too hasty at this point in time. But there you go. Coco trying to deal with some of these minion waves in the mid lane. And it's like Someday just wants to head back to the top side. They're going to have TP advantage for this next fight as well.
Right. I mean, there's no reason why Someday needs to go and hunt for kills right now. He's got that nice lead. He can just sort of hold his own turret, keep that pushed up as much as he can, I suppose. Dragging up in less than a minute, though. Yeah, but KT, again, you know, that teleport advantage just means so much right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a very small timing window. So if CJ can delay it for another 30 seconds, about looks like, then maybe that TP will come back up and they'll be able to actually contest it. But again, no Rod of Ages yet. Tier pickaxe compared to BF Sword. This is not really a battle that CJ's equipped to fight at this stage of the game unless they really catch somebody out.
No, it looked like Someday was trying to wait for Meganar to end to go in onto Shy there and maybe chunk him out enough to give it an easy dragon. Does a little bit of damage. He went in maybe a bit too early before Meganar ended. Not opting to use that ult just yet.
No, he needs to save it for the
dragon
right
fight,
now.
Yeah. He successfully did a lot of damage to Shy, though.
Yeah, hits him with the tornado in the end, and he can just back off right now, threaten the teleport. Tons of wards already set up for KT. Got vision absolutely everywhere. Scuttle Crab in favor of CJ, but that's all the information they have. Ambition also topside. They're just going to have to give this one up.
Well, Mad Life in space, they want to try to stop it as much as they can. Sivert activated. They managed to grab space. Can he get to the lantern in time? It's close, but it doesn't look like. Oh, he gets it out. Wow, but there's Someday right there. He TP'd down, pushed against the wall, though, by Mad Life with that play. Someday still gets the kill with the tornado, though. Big ultimate from Shy, but nobody there to follow it up. Coco comes down a little bit late. They can turn onto him easily. Coco goes in, manages to pick up the kill on to score, and now here comes Ambition. A bit of a long, protracted fight, but KT coming out on top after taking that dragon. Yeah. Oh, no, they didn't take the dragon.
No, they didn't get the dragon. They just started it and turned immediately with the Sivert once CJ came in, and they just need to keep rolling with these kills. So they get a couple in favor of just one, and they'll be able to fight again. Short cooldowns on their ultimates, remember. Explosive Cast and Last Breath, very, very short in terms of cooldowns. So they can just continue fighting over and over and over again at that objective. As we take a look at this here, Space actually gets the position reverser, flashes. Now, you can see Fixer trying to stand on top of the lantern right there so he can't click it. And
nice
then,
tornado.
Yeah, the tornado sets up the kill right there, and he gets the ult. That was a beautiful play from Someday, but they were all actually way too close to the wall right there. So Shy managing to get an ult off that hits 4 people. That was a bit of a positional error, but Someday, man, what a great tornado.
No kidding. The accuracy to hit something like that during a fight is pretty impressive. They're in the middle of being CC'd by a bunch of people.
Someday going Giant's Belt.
Wow, okay. Huh.
I don't know what he's doing.
Maybe
Randuin's, maybe?
Yeah, perhaps. Score goes in onto Mad Life there. Space fighting out with Someday. They blocked a little bit of action from the wind wall. There's the Last Breath. Someday with another kill.
Well, that's the thing.
Yasuo is working out pretty well.
Shy and Space don't have their ults up yet. Space's ult just came back up, so that's the advantage of fighting around these short cooldowns and using this composition to just fight over and over and over again. It's very empowering for Yasuo and Gragas.
Yeah, and it looks like KT should be able to take the second dragon now.
And LeBlanc, too. Really short ult cooldowns on the 3 players in the top side of the map.
Right. Wow. KT really making this composition look easy, you know?
Yeah, but the scaling is the issue here. Shy is getting some damage down onto the top side. Yeah, they've got a 2,500 gold lead, which is all fine and dandy for the moment, but CJ's scaling is crazy. So if CJ doesn't fall too far behind, they will be able to make a comeback in this game as Kassadin starts to stack up that Rod of Ages, as Urgot gets tankier, and I have no idea what somebody's doing. It could be a Frozen Mallet, too.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, KT's got as much of a lead as you could reasonably hope for with this composition at this point, and now it's on them to just kind of keep the ball rolling, you know?
You know, Don, I bet it is a Frozen Mallet. I bet he's going to split push as Yasuo with Frozen Mallet and try something kind of weird. There's two ways he could go, I think, with this. Randuin's Omen would be great because you can instantly get into the backline, but there's just not a lot of auto-attacking threat from CJ, I think, to truly justify that purpose. And Frozen Mallet, who's going to stop his split push?
Right.
That's really a problematic item.
3 members of KT moving down against the 3 members of CJ here in the spot lane just to protect that turret. Top in danger for CJ. Crew. That's right, here we go. Nagne score right there, dodging that death sentence. Someday Just clearing the wave and backing out. Nagne is going to get poked a bit by space, I suppose.
Yeah, that could have turned into a 4 versus 3 pretty quickly with Cassidy, and they knew that Arrow and Fixer were going to take this. So what they did right there was they forced Coco to move into the bottom side, were able to successfully defend their turret. Still almost no damage on that because of the very low wave clear on CJ Entus.
How's mid look right now? I guess we'll have to wait, won't we?
I guess we will.
It is a pause. Uh-oh.
And that is a
Problems.
Someday.
Problems right now with Someday's computer.
Is Someday wearing those frames without lenses in them?
Oh.
Is he guilty of that, Doa?
You know what I like to do? Because it's really popular here in Korea to wear those frames, the frames without lenses. Is when I'm talking to the person, I just slowly reach up, hook my finger through one of them, and slowly pull them off their face. It's what else are you supposed to do, you know?
You have to test to see if there's actually glass in there.
Yeah, you just hook your finger in there and slowly pull it off their face.
I can't tell if there are glasses in there.
Wait. I think there's lenses. Yeah. Wait. I'm leaning in. It's a small monitor. I'm not really seeing any distortion from where a lens would cause that. Yeah, I'm calling fake. I'm calling fake glasses there.
Fake glasses. So
Yep.
it's also
Even the weakest prescription would distort the eye line on the side of the face. I'm not seeing it. Oh, new keyboard. Serious business. That one's retired.
retired to the floor.
Yep, that's right. I'm looking to replace my mouse pretty soon. The poor thing. It's been.
Did you kill it, Doa?
It's been used vigorously for years, and it's starting. Like the left click is freaking out. Where if I like hold it down, it like double clicks really fast.
That's what I want my tombstone to say. Used vigorously.
Lived a long life, used vigorously. Just take it as you will. A mystery for the History Channel of the future. Well, or for whatever channel does history, because it won't be the History Channel.
Who knows?
They don't even do history now. Yeah. Like, but Pawn Stars is history. No, it's not history. Yeah, you find old stuff
They
at a
realize
pawn shop, but still, guys.
they realized that Pawn Stars reality TV was actually even cheaper to produce than just taking historical documentaries and having a voiceover. I mean, how cheap can it? It must be very cheap just to take pictures of World War II and then have
It's
a
way
voiceover over
cheaper.
the top.
Dude, if you think about it, doing a reality show, you need to shoot like on-location stuff. You need to pay all those extras, all that crew. You need to pay your talent, right? Because even though it's real life, you're still paying to be in it. Whereas with the History Channel stuff, real history would be less expensive.
But the difference is, to get actual real history people involved, you'd have to pay professionals
That's
instead
true.
of idiots.
They're more
So,
expensive, I've heard.
Professionals are generally more expensive than idiots.
And you do have to pay licensing for all those historical photographs, which can't be inexpensive. All right, maybe Pawn Stars is the way to go after all, you know? All right, sure, why not?
Glad we could solve History Channel's
That's right,
business model here during this break.
yeah. Don't they have like that ancient alien show or something like that?
I have no clue.
How's that history? Because it's something that hasn't even happened yet.
The only time I ever watch the History Channel or see what's on it is when I have DirecTV in one of my plane flights. Because I don't
really?
I haven't had actual cable TV for 10 years.
Me neither.
So
Who needs it? Internet, guys. Internet's the way to go. I know I'm kind of preaching the choir here, but yeah. Well, we're back. We filled another pause. Good for us. Doing good. Doing good work tonight. Someday's doing good work on this Yasuo as well.
for now, it's looking a lot like that GBM game where GBM did really well early and the Yasuo's flaws became very apparent as the game went on. But you know what, Doa? It's a different build this time. So
it is indeed.
My,
Ult on to
hello.
Coco. Can he get to the Lantern? Oh, nice pulling in. Oh, he doesn't make it out.
Oh, the auto attack followed him all the way
Yep.
through the Lantern. And KT
Wow. Nice
going
catch.
for their all-in style right now. Great warding in the top side, so they knew they were safe. No one coming in from behind as they catch out the Cassidy with no flash.
Well, it's still working. It's still working. Someday is split pushing now. He's got to have quite a bit of money towards that frozen mallet at this point.
Assuming that's what he's doing.
Oh, I think you're right, though. I mean, because what else would you? You're not going to go Sunfire Cape. You're not going to go. I mean, you could go Randuin's, but you don't really need to go Randuin's against this team. I think it makes the most sense. to go with Frozen Mallet.
He may go Frozen Mallet Black Cleaver again, actually. That may actually be a thing that he does this game. Could be pretty funny to see.
Yeah, I think it's perfectly
I actually
reasonable
think
on
that's,
Yasuo.
that's one of the better things you could do with Yasuo is just split push top lane with him with those items.
And those items do give Yasuo a certain amount of tankiness as well, too, that just building pure damage doesn't. And, you know, we have talked about Yasuo being a bit on the vulnerable side right now, so it mitigates that a little bit anyway.
Yeah, the downside to that is you're kind of messing with his kit because he does scale so well with crit.
Yeah.
But
what can you do, though? Oh, Shy totally caught. Not going to make it out there.
Ooh. The roaming gang squad is real, but
no
the problem that CJ is having here is they can't clear waves fast enough to actually put pressure on these turrets. Yeah. So it's giving KT an extraordinary amount of time to roam.
Well, CJ's finally going to take their first turret of the game, it looks like.
Are they going to lose a tier 2 for it, though, is the question. Shy still has 13 seconds to come back up, and it looks like they may at least take some damage down onto that top side as Fixer and Score come back. Still no mid tower down in spite of a lot of roaming from Nagne.
Yep. And actually BF Sword picked up by Sunday now. And looks like he's almost going for IE. So just a Giant's Belt for some extra HP and then into Infinity Edge for someday.
Why not? So he is going for the big damage ult onto the back line, so not split pushing. At least not yet. No Frozen Heart, rather Frozen Mallet, or Blade of the Ruin King, which are the usual items for a split pushing Yasuo.
Yeah, just kind of counting on this Giant's Belt to give him enough tankiness, quote unquote, to sustain his way through the mid game as he builds into kind of higher damage late, I suppose.
And we did talk a lot about Yasuo's problem staying alive because he could just get blown up so quickly that having an additional 400 and change HP does make pretty nice difference.
I like this build because you've got the crit early on from the static Shiv, and then once you move into kind of those crucial mid-game fights, you've got a little bit of extra health to sustain your way through it. So, seems like a pretty good build.
See how it works.
So far, so good. Dragon up in 45. Looks like they're going to get the Rift Scuttler as well.
Yeah, we'll be seeing many more wards this Dragon.
Yeah.
Compared to the last one from CJ. Both top laners with their TPs up. Taking a look at that. And only one turret down so far from CJ. To be expected with their composition, though. You pick Castaner guy, you know you're going to lose your outer ring faster. That's pretty much a given.
Yeah. Oh boy, if that hook had hit, maybe CJ would have had a chance. Coco coming in from some damage onto Nagne. KT backing away, Ambition coming in, gets a knock-up only onto Fixer. Damage, nice ult onto Space, knocking up Shy in the process as well too. Big explosive cast pushes Mad Life back in there. Someday gets into the back lines but gets taken down very low. Still they manage to pick up a kill onto Mad Life. And whoa, KT is very low right now, but some kills come in for Nagne and KT able to barely clean up that fight.
Nagne, there's a flash distortion.
Yep. Triple kill for Nagne. They're going to secure that Dragon as well, it looks like. And we saw KT get so low there, but in the end, Yasuo and LeBlanc had just enough damage to make it work.
And yeah, the Yasuo is working this game, but it's been so much more about KT punishing Ambition. If we think back to how this game played out, the punish that they got from Ambition's pathing and Ambition giving up that first blood, the fact that they were able to put so much pressure on the first tower because of it, thereby accelerating the tower game for themselves, the fact that they were able to get that first Dragon so early and then fight repeatedly in CJ's power trough before we see the Muramana finished onto Space, before this Rod of Ages really kicks into gear right here. So I think that if Someday had picked any top laner, we would be seeing a pretty strong performance. For me, it's much more about the way KT played this game, and they're not even going to go for the Dragon now. I guess that's weird.
Well, yeah, I thought they were going to take it right away, but they're going to give this one up to CJ. And
yeah, that third Dragon is actually important for them because they have to play around that potential fifth Dragon stack, and they already had a nice gold lead coming in. So I would say for this particular team composition, better to try and snowball off the Dragon than get that tier 2 in the mid lane right away, because you can always dive that later.
Right.
But very large gold lead now for KT.
Yep. Again, it really can't get any better than it is right now for KT. 8,000 gold ahead. And even without that Dragon, still in pretty good shape. Looks like they're going to find that pink ward there.
But KT, I really like how hard they punished Ambition's first blood. This is, it's not that big of a mistake from Ambition, but they did all the right things to maximize their benefit. Here we go.
Fixer gets grabbed. Ambition tossed into the Yasuo out again. Meanwhile, Nagne just blows up Shy. You just cannot get caught by this KT team. There goes another one. Double kill again for Nagne. Fixer in trouble here. Space uses that position reverser. Space getting very low. Another kill comes in for Someday. Yeah, KT has snowballed this quite possibly to a pretty quick end of this game as they are going to take out this inhibitor turret. Coco and Nagne dueling in the mid lane. Nagne able to escape fairly easily with that distortion. Coco can't quite chase enough right now.
I like how they sort of baited this Urgot pick in too from CJ Entus, but CJ I think not with the best draft this game.
Well,
they got sort of tied up in the idea of counter picking here. I feel like they were trying to pick the Kassadin and the Urgot just to have some preferable lane matchups, but they got overly greedy and KT was able just to push so incredibly quickly. And here we go, Someday just gonna move on through with that Infinity Edge now. Has Ninja Tabi completed as well. Not really sure why he has Ninja Tabi.
I don't know. Doesn't want to get auto-attacked, I guess. He's worried about it.
I think Merc Treads would be better here.
Oh, knock up on the Coco. Didn't quite get there for the last breath. Actually, the ult wasn't up yet. I'm trying to see. Yeah, it wasn't up. Oh, here we go. Mad Life trapped against the wall. Space in a lot of trouble too. Can he get to the lantern? Uses a position reverser. Gets himself away from the lantern. Whoops. Oh, Space. Not the time you want to use that. Mad Life's like, no! And this could be a Baron for KT, couldn't it?
It very well could. Well.
Wow. Well. 16-2 in kills. This Yasuo doing quite well. And KT with this Baron now.
I think Fixer has been so good this game.
Yeah, definitely. They've all been very good this game, I think. I mean, look at Ambition. He's been part of 14 out of 16 kills. Really been active around the map, so just in general.
I just think Fixer set up that play well. He knew the right way to roll him in onto Ambition to punish him for that mistake. And Fixer's ultimates on Nautilus have been really on point. He set up so many of the plays in this game and the engages as well. I'm impressed by his Nautilus play, considering that it's not something that we really associate with Fixer.
Well, like we mentioned earlier, things really changed for KT once he came into the support role. CJ trying to make a bit of a pick right here, but a little bit too afraid. Ambition, dodges a body slam, gets out on the lantern. But yeah, I mean, Fixer's made such a big difference in general that it's not too surprising to see him expand his repertoire.
I'm sad, it is Randuin's Omen.
Oh well. Did go for that IE first, but I mean, it still works. Nice wind wall to block that. Ambition again caught. He's just not been in good position. There goes Mad Life immediately. Coco in a lot of trouble as well. Last breath on his Space, and Coco for a double kill. Coco tries to get away, but there's a kill for Nagne. Nagne has been such good cleanup. Looks like the turret is going to do what CJ hasn't been able to and finally kill Someday. But
it took two turrets right there. KT just such an overwhelming advantage. And this is looking much more like the KT that we saw towards the end of last season. Just incredibly hard driving team that if you give them a lead like this, they will just continuously dive you and fight you and play out that lead quite well here. There's not really anything KT's been doing that's been overly risky. It's just been very punishing play.
Right. And so 2 inhibitors taken down by KT now. They've still got that Baron buff. And CJ, I mean, CJ's 16,000 gold down at 24 minutes. There's just nothing you're going to do. KT would have to throw pretty hard to lose this one, but look at this again. Someday with the great Yasuo play.
Yeah, and there it is. There's a knock-up right there, and then Score providing the other knock-up over the wall with the body slam. So that was actually just a really great setup from 2 different knock-ups for that last breath.
Well, they know how to play with this top Yasuo, that's for sure.
I really don't think top Yasuo was the biggest factor in this game, Toma.
I mean, they're playing. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying they're doing it well. You know, they're playing into it well.
True. Yeah, and we saw, just like we saw GBM play it well.
Oh, score. A little bit caught. Fixer comes in. Explosive cast teleport coming in for CJ as well, too. Arrow loading on some damage. Shy zoning, gets a stun on to score here. Coco in the back line. Someday comes in a bit late here. Nagne joining the back of the fight as well, too. A kill for Shy comes in initially. KT finally grouping up onto the sort of fractured CJ, but they need to make a retreat here. Someday going in after Coco, turns on to Shy. Now Nagne, again, just doing such a good job cleaning up. Space finally gets caught here as a double kill for Nagne comes in. Might go for this triple. No, turning on to Shy. Yeah, you'll get that triple. There it goes. No. Okay, there it is. Triple kill.
Wow, another multi-kill for Nagne, and showing why people have been banning LeBlanc against him so frequently this year.
Well, it's like if the first initial engage, if Someday doesn't kill them, Nagne does. And if Nagne doesn't kill them, Someday does. So either way, you've got these closers, you know?
As and Arrow is here to press R.
That's right. Arrow makes everybody faster. Without him, they would walk slower. Looks like Someday's going for a GA at this point, which is a good buy on Yasuo in the late game for sure. Nearly a 20,000 gold lead now for KT.
At 26 minutes. Yeah, this game's an absolute slaughter. But if I'm CJ, I don't worry too much. I think that you just are like, well, we screwed up our early game, and then because we screwed up our early game and we had no wave clear, the snowball came in even harder against us. You want to play Urgot and Casted, you have to make no mistakes. And so I don't think they're going to be that upset with this game. It's just the reality of the pick ban and how that first blood happened and the way that KT was able to snowball off of it.
Right.
That said, it's a really beautiful example of how to snowball off of a first blood. KT played it out incredibly well.
Yep, ult again. Nagne gets hooked. And KT trying to find someone. They ult onto Ambition. Fixer grabs that. Lantern again. Shy hopping over it. They want to save it for Ambition. Can he grab it? No. Arrow gets that kill. They're going to pull in Fixer with the death sentence. Put him in the box. Space coming in now. Will he find a position reverser target? Doesn't look like it. So they got the support. But Fixer had already used his ult. So doesn't matter too much at this point.
Yeah, a bit overly greedy there from KT, yeah. But they have 2 inhibitors down. Obviously not a lot left to lose at this point, but the minion wave not even close to that turret, so there's no real follow-up on that kill whatsoever, especially with Baron still being 2 full minutes out.
KT still has 5 times the kills that CJ does this game.
It's a bit of a slaughter.
It is indeed. Action-packed slaughter, which is the best kind for League of Legends.
Well, you could take a job with the LPL then, Doa.
Well, I mean, I wanted it to be logical action-packed slaughter. I'm just kidding. The LPL is very good for entertainment. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The burns are real. No, I'm not meaning to fire these shots. It's just happening.
Someday, just going to Steel Tempest everywhere.
Why not? He's got that flow.
And he's Hasagiing through the minion wave as they slowly now hopefully don't overdive this turret any longer and prolong the massacre that we are currently enduring.
You mean enjoying?
Enjoying.
Yes. I'm enjoying. You may not be. Oh, Coco. All right, here we go. And the ult onto Space here. Explosive Cast doesn't do a whole lot, but they do grab Ambition out of everything. Another kill comes in. Shy knocking everybody away, but they're going to need more than that. Someday, getting in the back lines. On to Mad Life, gets 1 kill. Coco very, very low. Position reversal used. Double kill now for Arrow. And this game is over. They're just going into the Nexus turrets now, and KT coming in, getting the damage done in the early game and snowballing so well off of that early advantage, making it look easy with a 22,000 gold lead at the end. That first pick, Gragas as well too, so they really had that Yasuo plan all along, it seemed like. There's a Yasuo ban, wow, against KT.
I don't know about that.
I'm a bit surprised by that.
I don't really think that's necessary. There's a Thresh ban, so no Thresh this game for Mad Life. Mad Life was making plays on Thresh even after they were so far down that they couldn't really recover from that.
Well, Mad Life played well that game, but when you're behind that much, there's only so much you can do from the support role, you know, even if you're Mad Life. And there's a Gragas ban as well against KT. So CJ saying, all right, you're just going to have to play something completely different.
Now, they banned the Sejuani in Game 1, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Yes, Score has been great on that champion, but Score has been showing up on Rek'Sai and Gragas as well, so not really sure what they were trying to accomplish with the Sejuani ban. I think that was a little bit of an overreach for them right there, especially since we know Ambition Sejuani is perfectly serviceable. And there is Azir banned out, this time by KT Rolster, so freeing or that champion today, it would seem.
And the Sejuani ban against KT.
So they're going to first pick Rek'Sai more than likely.
It looks like they'll try.
KT could ban Rek'Sai here too and really make things interesting.
Do you want to give Kalista to space though?
Yeah.
Is
I
it
mean,
worth the
KT
risk?
gave up Kalista last week.
It's true. That is true.
And they gave it to an extremely AD carry focused team. They gave it to Fury.
Okay, they're not going to give it to space though. I mean, I suppose if you're KT and you do play those big engaged dive comps, you can give up those 80 carries, but not wanting to do that this time, so you'd imagine the Rek'Sai or maybe the Cassiopeias are going to be picked first.
Yeah.
It will be, okay. Going to take the Cassiopeia.
Yeah, it was banned by CJ in the last game, so they will first pick it on the blue side this time around, but that means Rek'Sai and Alistar going to be the choices. Alistar's such a wonderful AD carry again, or support rather, against Cassiopeia because of the fact that Cassiopeia has relatively short range, and you can bounce her out of fights even after she ults, because you just wait for her Petrifying Gaze to come in, immediately hit Unbreakable Will, and then remove her while that stun is up, so the DPS becomes much, much harder to deal with. And will this be a Lee Sin? Remember, Cinderhulk was nerfed in 5.9.
Yeah, Lee Sin and other junglers like him certainly do have a bit more presence, and look at that, the Vayne locked in as well too. Lee Sin and Vayne for CJ, so already this comp getting a bit interesting on the CJ Entus side.
Not really going to help with their wave clear problems whatsoever, and they're not going to be able to get that Alistar Vayne combo, which is a really effective combination, but two major scaling threats. They do have better wave clear this time around, at least with the Cassiopeia, and they could lane swap here, as well as some really early pressure. With the Cinderhulk nerfs to damage to champions, that means that Lee Sin is way better now in the 2v2. If you get like a solo laner and a jungler from each team, Lee Sin's power has comparatively gone up dramatically.
Makes a lot of sense, as would the picks for LeBlanc and Jinx as well, too. I mean, picking up this Jinx, KT, you know, they see that lack of wave clear. A good response would be just to push as fast as and as hard as they can.
Especially, I think you're absolutely right, Doa, especially because Vayne is likely to lane swap here, and having Jinx will win the fast push battle.
Yeah, you can just push down the 2v1 and then rotate up to where the 2v2 is.
All right, taking Orianna, which is a winning matchup into Cassiopeia, something that we're seeing with increasing frequency. Two early game junglers here. Lee Sin still having a little bit of an edge, depending on whether he builds that Cinderhulk or the Warrior enchantment.
So do you maybe go with a Rumble here if you're CJ then?
Yeah, it's not a bad pickup to help get you into that late game stage. Could go for Maokai as well.
Okay, yeah.
A little bit more scaling, depending on what he builds. Righteous Glory may be a good early pickup, and they have a tank line now to help them out. So early game jungler pick shouldn't matter too much with this composition, considering that they do scale so well at three other roles in Maokai, Vayne, and Cassiopeia into the late game.
So KT is just going to really need to push as hard as they can and hope that they can take down a lot of turrets early. Seems like.
Well, depends on how they round this one out. If they have... Oh, please don't do this.
Yes, please do it. Don't listen to Monty.
Don't do this to me someday.
Please do it someday. You need to do this.
They would have a really solid 1-3-1 if they did this.
It is your destiny.
More like 4-1, actually. They'd probably be unlikely to 1-3-1 with this composition.
What?
So taking the Jinx here, they can go for something like an R and set up for really big wombo combos in the late game and scale very well also. They have crazy control, great scaling on Orianna and on Jinx.
Not the Volibear. I don't agree with that.
You need something which can deal with the Vayne. Okay.
Yeah, that works. Yeah. Whimsy is pretty good at dealing with Vaynes.
And just having that having that wild growth presence too
Right.
onto Alistair or Rek'Sai for an engage is pretty nice. So a lot of buffs, a lot of utility on this KT team to peel for Arrow. Someday, of course, he's been playing top lane Lulu longer than just about anybody, stretching all the way back to when the KT Bullets used to do it when he was on that team.
Yeah.
When he was,
I remember watching him do
like,
that in like NLB way back when.
yeah, 15, 16 years old. So
Yeah.
it's been a while. This guy's been a pro for many years at this stage.
Yep, pretty much. And here we go. Welcome to Summoner's Rift. CJ Entus versus KT Rolster. And it would be pretty huge for KT to come in and 2-0 a team like CJ Entus. They did extremely well in game number 1, but game 2 looks like it certainly could be a long one, and it could be a close one too.
Yeah, unless KT decides to fast push. I do think that KT's composition gives them so many options here because they have that really good opportunity. They read the Vayne. Vayne was picked very early in the draft for CJ. They responded to it. They built a composition that can do well in the 2v2 or in the lane swap.
I mean, KT's got a good team fight as well, if they choose to use that.
Both teams have really strong team fighting in this game.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, you know, continuing on what you were saying earlier, where KT has options, you know, they can split push, they can team fight, they can fast push, they can really do whatever fits best, and it looks like they will do that lane swap as well.
I really like this comp from KT as a reaction to what CJ has done. Again, KT coming out with, we don't see top lane Lulu that much anymore, but someday picking some unorthodox champions, at least as far as the current meta is concerned, and we'll see if he can make it work again. It looks like he will be starting at the Raptors with some help from Nagne as he giggles madly.
As Lulu does. KT is still one of the best in the draft in Korea.
They're very adaptive.
Yeah.
They predict team compositions and build very well.
Well, if they keep playing like this all season, it would be very cool to see them at Worlds.
Yeah, first time a KT team will have gone to Worlds, actually, after the massive failure of the KT Arrows in the Gauntlet.
Yep. And the KT Bullets in Champions Summer in 2013.
That was what that hurts me so much, though. You know that. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that one because that was such a tragedy because I don't think KT Arrows would have done necessarily much better than Najin Whiteshield did at Worlds just because of the inconsistency of their style.
Sure.
But KT Bullets,
they would have won Worlds if they would have won.
Or SK Telecom. I mean, yeah, at least we could have had an amazing final potentially at Worlds in that case. Sure. I'm very sad about that. Because I just feel that they were pretty much unquestionably the second best team in the world at the time, and we didn't even get to see them at the tournament, so I was bummed out.
Very bizarre. Odd how it all worked out.
All right, so Someday does get the blue buff here. They actually go for the blue steal. So, as predicted, this is going to be their strategy coming into this game.
Yeah, so they'll get that Lulu versus Vayne lane, and Lulu with the blue buff. A lot of those glitter lances coming in, using that E on Vayne if she tumbles too close. Or just E on yourself, I suppose, too, to absorb that damage from Vayne when she tumbles in. I like it. Early Dragon from CJ as well, too, it looks like.
I don't know if they're going to be able to finish this. Remember, Dragon was buffed right here, but no one actually putting pressure down. They've got a ward. Wow, they're actually going to give this up, even with all that Dragon damage.
And so that means
they're fast pushing.
Yeah, KT's going to get this top turret. So is the Dragon worth it?
Well, Fixer actually taking a couple tower hits right there. That was a bit of a mistake.
Yeah.
But
they really want to push this turret as fast as they can.
Yeah, they're going to be trading a Dragon deficit for this early gold advantage, making that conscious decision. And now we see Madlife and Shy walking into the top side.
Are they actually going to be able to kill this top turret? I'm not so sure.
Yeah, they should be able to.
Yeah, it'll be close.
You got minigun Jinx.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. All right. Good enough. Ward just for safety's sake from Fixer, and it looks like they will not be able to do it.
Oh, it's gonna be close.
I was going to say.
Yeah, it's a couple auto attacks off. Someday now coming up here to help out, but that will delay the recall and give Vayne some more free farming in the bottom side. That's actually very important.
Actually, there's going to be a big
up.
dive here. Yeah, Score coming up as well, too. Madlife, there's a slow onto him. Score catches him as well. Knock up onto Madlife. This is going to be first blood potentially for KT. It will indeed be. Who's going to get it? And it's going to be Someday. Someday gets that first blood, which is pretty nice. Looks like they're going to have the 1v1 lane.
That was pretty tricky. So they just faked the recall right there.
Guess so.
And now they may punish even further. Man, they're staying here for this
another
one.
dive. They're going to go after Shy
But there's
now.
no pressure. I mean, Vayne is not putting any pressure on the bottom side. So KT, there's no downside to doing this right now.
Goodbye, Shy.
Absolutely none. They're going to get the reset off the tower kill as well. Watch this. Get excited. Follow through.
Oh,
there we go.
Shy. There's the pulverize. Yep, another slow comes in, and it's going to be another kill. Score picking that one up.
Not
the turret.
even remotely worth it to flash right there if you're Shy. That's a big error. You're not getting out of that one. The tower was so low. Even if you flash, Jinx is going to hit her passive and then just run right past you. You have 4 people trying to dive. And meanwhile, the freeze still going on. They have no pressure in the bottom side of the map right now. And that means that that tower, that kill, totally free for KT.
Wow. So CJ really counting on space to carry hard with this Vayne later on. But already a pretty big deficit at just a few minutes into the game here, just 6 minutes in.
Well, Shy at least is going to get some time to farm back up here in the bottom side, and he's not behind on levels. So that is a bit of an advantage. Someday just here to hold the lane while he waits for top side to push out, handing that off to Nagne. And Nagne has been really bullied in this lane matchup. Look at that, actually, 28 to 50. So
yeah, you're right.
Coco just crushing him.
Huh. Which is not something you'd expect to see in this matchup, too.
Well, I've kind of seen it both ways. I mean,
it seems like Orianna should be able to,
Orianna should
well
win
enough.
this lane.
Yeah.
You have longer range, you have better control, you have a shield to deal with her damage over time. Yes, you should absolutely win this lane, I think, as Orianna.
All you have to do is dodge the poison. You don't really need to worry about the range too much.
Well, you get hit by poison, your shield just deals with it.
Yeah,
so.
it should. In theory. And Arrow and Fixer might be in a little bit of trouble here. Yeah, CJ coming in. The flash from Arrow happens right away. Score coming down. The teleport as well. Slow doesn't land onto space, though. Can they maybe catch Madlife here? There's no flash.
TP.
Teleport coming in, though, for CJ. KT needs to back off right now. There is Shy knocking Score back into the fight. Shy getting very low, and here comes Nagne. Where's that level 6? There it is. Shockwave, but Madlife manages to get out anyway. Still ends up being a kill on the top laner for KT. So they still come away with the win, and they may come away with a turret here, too.
Yeah, this fast push, very effective as long as Cassiopeia isn't there to wave clear. So here we go.
I think that flash may have been a little bit of an overcommitment. If he had stayed and hit that turret, maybe they would have been able to kill it. Either way.
5 people on the bottom side, though. But there's no pressure. Shy was just farming there close to his turret. They've been playing so far back in the lanes because CJ's playing scared.
I think the hope really rests in Coco right now. He's been able to get some damage done on the mid lane turret, been able to get a lot of farm. Nagne caught up quite a bit, actually, within the last few minutes before he roamed down to bot.
Shy isn't that behind either. So there's still hope for CJ here. They are 1.5K down based on these kills, but Nagne at that disadvantage. He did roam, so he lost even more CS right there. Lost some damage onto his turret as well.
I mean, KT's getting some kills, but what they really need, I feel like, is the turrets.
Yes, but they're going to work on these turrets pretty quickly right now, especially when they have Jinx back in the Vayne lane with an advantage. So Someday also going to catch right back up in CS after taking this massive wave, which has been slowly meandering to the top tier 1. Also, we got some kills and assists right there, so definitely making it worthwhile. Shy has had some trouble teleporting since this season started.
Oh, he nearly got it. Nearly got ambition there, too. Nice attempt at the Jinx rocket from Arrow.
Yeah, really, really close to stealing that blue buff.
That was from across the map, too.
And there was no ward.
Yeah, that was blind, wasn't it?
Yes.
Man.
I mean, they knew that Coco was there.
Yeah.
But that also prevented the blue buff from being handed off properly, which is
if that had been like a level 2 Jinx ult, that probably would have killed him. Nagne, meanwhile, he hasn't really caught up in CS, but he hasn't gotten any farther behind. So he has been able to stabilize a bit anyway in the mid lane. Taking a lot of damage on that turret, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't count CJ out yet. I really wouldn't. I think that Coco's an extremely good place to carry this game, and Shy, even though he's died a couple times, really isn't that far behind.
Yeah, Nagne having a really hard time with Coco.
Yeah,
Dragon up again.
getting those Twin Fang resets on him with the poison too and just chasing him down.
Yep.
It's interesting though. We've seen at MSI in the finals, we saw EasyHoon win both sides of this matchup actually.
That's true.
It's a matchup that we saw a couple times there. So
yeah. Oh, Shockwave brings in Coco. He's in a lot of trouble here. Nice ult though onto Someday. Might get Coco his life, but not quite. Ambition coming in though. Wild growth onto Someday, so it looks like both sides will survive with a couple ults used. Ambition not using his though.
KT going to be able to translate that actually probably into a dragon here, whereas
Seems that way.
CJ more than likely just going to be pushed off. We'll see how hard they want to commit, but I doubt they want to go anywhere right now to try and contest this with the way that Arrow has a nice item advantage at the moment. And look at Arrow too, getting the Berserker Greaves completed before he goes after a bigger ticket item. This is extremely good for fast pushing, and if Space ever leaves lane.
Oh, big melee in the bot lane. Exhaust onto Space here as Arrow tries to back away. Flash from Fixer. Looks like he'll be able to make it out though.
Yeah, they tried to cut the corner on the lane right there and didn't anticipate that Ambition would be on the bottom side, so they get punished for it a little bit. But again, if Space leaves lane, which is harder to do because he has some lifesteal right now. He's got some sustain in that Cutlass. But if he does, that tower's dead, 100%.
Oh, yeah. Well, same for Nagne, too. His tower pretty low. Same for Someday as well, honestly. Like CJ on the verge of taking 3 very quick turrets here if they get the opportunity.
Yeah, well, that was because Someday has been trying to make plays on the map. Does tag Shy, not able to delay the recall even though the damage goes through. And there is a Warrior enchant for Ambition, so not going the way of the Cinder Hulk right now, but he's been unable on Lee Sin to make a play in the first 11 minutes of this game.
Well, it's not the greatest thing for Lee Sin, but we'll see what he can do later. I mean, all he needs is one good kick on Jinx, and that can turn the game around.
Right, and Shy also going for that Righteous Glory, and they're going to be in a very nice power spike when that Righteous Glory is completed to make a teleport play alongside Lee Sin when he's going to be at his strongest point of the game. So the setup can be pretty good right now for CJ Entus.
Yeah, they've got CS leads, pretty big ones in top and mid, too.
Yeah, especially mid lane. That's huge on a champion that is going to keep on stacking up like Cassiopeia. Blue buff handed over to Nagne. And Shy going to walk all the way back. Has enough wards that he's going to feel pretty safe right there. It'd be nice if he could take out the pink ward in the river, but just going to stick around in the safest place possible, waiting for this big wave to come back.
Yeah, KT not really able to do that fast pushing that they wanted to, it looks like.
They don't have to commit to it, though, is the thing. They can still farm up and wait for the late game just as well as CJ can.
Well, it's like we said, too. They can split push. They can be team fight oriented. They can kind of change things up given the situation. And it looks like they're going to have to. Maybe a bit of a play onto Coco here. A score coming in.
Yeah, Prey Seeker, so they're going to let him know that they're there. Alistair looks like he may have also been seen.
Yep.
As Rek'Sai takes on the big ward. Here we go.
Mad Life tried to make a play into Nagne. Nagne got out of there with the flash. So getting that summoner is pretty nice. I would trade a... Oh, actually, Mad Life flash, too, so it was summoner for summoner. Shy taking a lot of damage here. Needs to be careful. Score could come over the wall and make a play here.
Coco's here.
Behind
Dangerous.
him, though. Yeah, that's right. They're going to kill Shy before anything else. Maybe Someday flashing in for that kill. They're really committing. They're going deep for it. And here comes Coco. Will he get the double? There's one easy. It scored a lot of trouble. Yeah, Ambition right there as well, too. Double kill for Coco. KT really overcommitting with that one. I mean, Nagne saw Coco leave lane. I don't know what happened there.
Well, there's no way that Nagne can pursue him as well, given how strong Nagne is at the moment. They had no wards in the topside jungle either. That's not the play you want to make.
You would think, though, that Nagne would say, hey, Coco is heading your direction, and you wouldn't chase Shy all the way down there.
After they failed to kill Shy before getting him under the turret, they still could have absolutely gotten out of that situation if they didn't dive the turret. So really silly overcommittal. They lost two players, 2 flashes for 1.
And they gave it to the person you don't want to give kills to right now,
exactly. Coco has a massive opportunity to carry this game. That also helps them close that gold gap. In terms of farm, CJ Entus doing just fine. Even space as a result of that freezing, which looked like it could go really wrong in the early game. They've managed to keep that tower up, so they haven't been overly punished for it, and they've gotten some damage onto the mid lane too, thanks to the roaming from Nagne. So
yeah,
this is looking up for CJ.
That certainly is. Although, you know, again, KT with a team that scales well, they can still come back and win it with a team fight late. Certainly possible.
I would be very worried about this Cassiopeia, though.
Yeah.
Extremely worried. 2 kills already on that champion. Big farm advantage.
Ambition in awards, so Arrow and Fixer know what's up here. They're going to be able to clear it at least.
So are they going to want to fight? Coco actually has some decent items right now, working towards that Seraph's Embrace after his Abyssal Scepter.
Yeah.
They can be well set up.
Yep. CS lead, well, someday catching up with the CS in top lane. Nagne still way behind. Yeah, this Orianna lane has not gone quite as well for someday as I think KT, or for Nagne rather, as KT would have wished.
Yeah, here's the setup for the Dragon. Trying to punish space right now. Oh, nice condemn.
Oh, but he flashes in with the Pulverizer as he exhausts as well. Score coming in. Space flashes the rocket, though, and now the teleport coming in for both top laners.
Actually, Someday canceled his right there. That
he did. Well,
so Shy fast on the trigger, but they used the opportunity that they had gained from Ambition and Mad Light both being back at base right there to try and punish him. But that was actually some really nice play by Space.
Yeah.
Buffering the condemn super well on the engage and then forcing the flash and then flashing the rocket afterwards. Did leave him with no summoners for this upcoming fight, however.
Yep, that is true. No ult for Arrow, though. Nagne has his. Arrow doing a lot of damage to Mad Life. Oh, condemning as well. What a combo. There's the ult. Arrow just blown up. Man, what a catch for CJ. That was nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Especially since they didn't have any summoners. It was very important that they actually get a pick off right there. So they pick one up. And there is another Dragon for CJ.
Well, bit of an error by Arrow being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Well, he's really vulnerable.
Yes, he is. He is playing Jinx.
He's playing Jinx, and unless everyone is grouped up right there, there's not a lot of peel for him. But yeah, he needed to be more careful around the pit.
Yeah, look at all the wards in there for CJ too. There was no mystery about where KT was before that happened.
Missed the Glitter Lance, so they couldn't follow up on that Whimsy onto Nagne.
Yeah, looking for a shockwave there, but didn't get it. Fight over the blue buff here. Smited away by Ambition. Smote away. Smitten away.
That's not the right word.
They were smitten with the blue buff.
They were, and they got it.
That's right.
Okay, well, liking the way this looks for CJ right now.
Certainly. Chilling Smite on the Arrow. Kick back into Mad Life. Again, Arrow in big trouble here. Fixer trying to save his AD carry. Looks like he'll be able to. A close call, though, again for Arrow. And it's situations like this that are the reason why Korea doesn't like to use Jinx very much. She doesn't really have the escapes, and that's really made her not a preferable pick in Korea.
Yeah, and had to use both summoners in order to get away from that as well. And now Jinx is basically just a sitting duck for the next 5 minutes. Ambition can return as soon as his ultimate is back up again. Try and make that same play one more time, especially Mad Life's ult almost being up as well. And having the flash, he'll be able to flash ult Arrow if he really wants to. Ambition looks like he doesn't want to make a repeat gank onto the bottom side, wants to move into top instead. And Score just there to protect his dual lane as they push out so they don't lose their tower right away. And it doesn't look like Jinx is quite ready to recall yet. Just going to go ahead and wait for the wave to return.
Well, probably waiting for his next big component of an item. Just picked up the IE, the Berserker's Greaves. He should have enough for something fairly soon. As they push this lane up. Blue buff going over to Coco, of course. Yeah. Space is certainly getting to be quite a big threat here. Nagne still 30 CS down to Coco.
Yeah, that's...
Hasn't been able to close that gap all game.
And the kills, too, especially since Nagne has been roaming, but hasn't even been able to get assists off of that. There goes the turret as Coco.
Wow. Great lane for Coco.
Very, very well done.
played.
We didn't get to see much of it, unfortunately, in the early game when he first started to get out to that really big CS advantage.
Yeah, I would have liked to see some of that just to see how the movement was between the two players. The funny thing is KT actually has more kills this game, but it's not really about that. It's about this Cassiopeia getting most of the kills on CJ.
Yeah, jeez. Coco's an absolute monster right now. He's going to go back, make some really big purchases. It's like we may see the Archangels and what other goodies. Nope, Deathcap actually. Had enough money just to go straight into Deathcap, so he's going to do that.
Damage. Yeah. Well, KT should be able to get this turret here. A Q used by Ambition. Oh, they're going to go through. Madlife ults onto Arrow. Arrow knocked up. They still take out the turret. Arrow getting excited here.
Yeah, CJ made a decision to try and defend that tower when Cassiopeia was back and they were at TP disadvantage, so that was a bit greedy. They could have just given it up and fallen back, considering the state of the game at the current time. They're already doing very, very well.
Yeah.
But instead, Shy is just going to split push. He's going to have a TP advantage in about 30 seconds, though, so CJ may be able to respond, especially onto Arrow. If he goes back with that Righteous Glory, he can definitely make a play right now to catch Arrow out without that flash, and they may be able just to respond in kind in the end.
KT is caught up in turrets by taking down that tier 1 in bot lane. Dragging up in about 1:30 again. And KT still keeping it relatively close.
Coco has a huge gold advantage.
He does. But, I mean, one shockwave could change all that.
Well, the problem is Orianna is down so far in terms of core items that the shockwave really isn't going to be doing much damage. And you see Ambition working on that Aegis at the moment as well, which is going to be very effective. Once they get Aegis and Frozen Heart from CJ, KT's composition may run into some issues. Those items are particularly important, and nobody really close on KT to buying a Frozen Heart, and I also don't even know who would buy a Frozen Heart in this team. Score is the most likely option, but
Fixer.
He's going for a Randuin's Omen right now, and Fixer would take forever to buy one at this stage.
Yeah, I suppose.
So,
oh, Coco trying to make a catch there, but he dodges the W from Jinx.
So yeah, the fact that Space will have more DPS without a Frozen Heart on the enemy team in the late game is probably going to be pretty significant.
Yeah. Looks like KT just wants to take out this mid lane turret. And are they going to be able to do it? Certainly able to do a lot of damage very quickly to it. And everybody backing up. Looks like they might have a pick onto Shy here, but Shy thinking about trying to come in for a flank here too. CJ, Madlife in space, moving up from River. Dragon is about to come up again.
Yeah, they don't have very many wards on the bottom side, though. They've chosen to ward up around the top side of the river, so KT could possibly just trade the mid lane turret for it. Looks like that's what they want to do.
Yep.
But
pushing is good.
There's a Glory on the other team, and this Jinx has to be, well, Jinx has flash up back now, so that's definitely a boon. But
okay, Dragon being taken by Space only right now.
Yeah, he can just solo this.
Yep, that's right. Ambition joining in as well. Here we go. KT coming in onto Shy, onto Madlife, Space, and Coco able to do a lot of damage. Dragon taken by CJ. Nagne goes down. 2 kills already. Ambition taking the Dragon and Nagne, and KT on the run, chasing down Someday with a wild growth on himself. Not going to be able to make it out. And Ambition decides to just go after the blue buff at this point.
They're going to go for
right
Baron.
Yeah.
I mean, they have Cassiopeia Vayne. They can absolutely wreck this Baron at this point in the game. Those Silver Bolts coming in. Look how fast this Baron's going to go down.
Yeah.
For 23 minutes.
And
only a 2K gold advantage. It's pretty significant, but looks like...
Oh, Rocket? No, not even close.
It was a nice try.
Nice attempt. Oh, Cassiopeia went really high there. Yeah.
Let's take a look at that fight again. So, I mean, Shy was just hiding in the pink warded brush right there, so it wasn't the best engage, actually. And then Shy just gets everybody. Look at that flash ult from Coco, too. Beautifully played. Gets a big slow and 1 stun. And then his speed just allows him to move through these team fights. I mean, Cassiopeia and Vayne are both so good at chasing down targets.
Yeah.
And so when KT splits up like that, it gets them exactly where they want. Just in those little skirmishes, Coco just repeatedly spams E on one target, and then Vayne follows through on another one.
Absolutely. It's dangerous. It almost feels similar to last game, where you've got these carries, you've got this ability to get in and just blow people up, and once that starts happening, the snowball starts to roll downhill pretty quickly.
Yeah, someday with the desperation Magi's right now, just on the hope that they can get back into this game, but going to be unlikely, especially since Coco has 3 core items done. Nagne's still trying to get number 2. Now the towers are starting falling as the split push starts.
Yep. Yeah, this one's going to be pretty tough for KT to turn around unless CJ makes some pretty big mistakes. And I don't think CJ is going to be inclined to let that happen after last game.
So starting just a 4-1 split push right here, pretty standard stuff. Someday hanging back near his turret, but without a lot of AP, he's going to have a really hard time clearing out these Baron-empowered minions. So now CJ switching their attention to the mid lane. They want to just let this Vayne farm the next wave by herself. She's hiding in the brush right now. Space in the pink ward, just trying to take an advantage and make it as difficult for KT to respond as possible. Looks like they're going to get some chip damage down on the tower at the very least.
Well, Coco's up about 3,000 gold over Nagne right now. So Orianna pick not working very well. Oh, meanwhile, Someday caught under turret. Knocked back out again with that Dragon's Rage. Used the Wild Growth on himself, but still gets taken out by Ambition and the rest of CJ. And they're going to get this tier 2 as well. It just seems like it's too late for KT now.
Yeah, they're pushing on forward. And just so many turrets going down during this Baron. Really good rotations between the towers by CJ Entus right here just to chip them all out slowly. Ambition has the good dive in the top lane, so they help Shy get back into this game even more than he already was. Shy was never that far down, all things considered.
Yeah, very true. Shockwave brings into Coco.
Catch.
A lot of damage onto him. They're going to be able to get him. All right, well, KT makes a pick. That's going to save this mid lane turret. Now, can they get anything from this, though?
TP.
Yeah,
Someday
teleport coming in. They want to try to catch Shy here. Don't think they're going to be able to.
Well, they're working on Mad Life right now.
Yeah, that's true. Turret, though, taken by Space. Looks like they take out Mad Life.
They have to save their inhibitor right now.
Yeah, getting these picks is just not worth it. And now Shy can try to delay people. The back for Arrow. And it looks like Space can't quite kill the turret.
2 kills not worth it for another tier 2 turret. However, no. CJ still has a massive gold lead. And there is no other objective that could be taken. All the lanes were pushed up for CJ Entus. And that'll mean nothing really that KT can do to maximize their advantage.
Space and Ambition are coming up. KT does not want to fight this. Wow, Fixer going in onto Space, getting condemned away. Space just walking casually out of their score. Hits him with the smite though, but Space pops the ulti, should be just fine. KT backing away.
Yeah, good disengage from KT on that.
Yep.
Was a 5v3, so CJ not wanting to go in.
CJ threatening this 4th dragon here in about a minute too. So that's going to be kind of the do or die fight, I think, for KT. If they let CJ take that dragon, I think it's over.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And what an interesting game focused around the mid lane right there, because we saw how hard Nagne was dominated in this matchup, but it really looked like KT was going to win the side lane battles, but in the end, they weren't able to push their advantage as hard as they could. A couple of those minion waves, I think, had they gone a different way and had those 2 outer turrets died in terms of top and bottom a minion wave or 2 earlier for KT, we may be looking at a very different game.
Yeah.
But some mispositioning around the dragon as well for KT has cost them, and CJ has been there to punish at every opportunity.
KT certainly came close to making this work. I mean, it looks one-sided, but I feel like this is actually a fairly close game initially.
Yeah, it's funny because we have this large gold lead that's coming through thanks to a CS advantage. Looks Shy actually with a CS edge right now.
Yeah.
And just a large number of turrets as well as the Baron going down to bolster CJ's coffers. And we have Speed Shrine right now. Fantastic with Cassiopeia and Vayne. Dragon about to spawn. Not really much that KT's going to be able to do to stop this.
Yeah, well, again, this is the fight They need to win it, but Someday's not there. It doesn't have TP, so it looks like they're just going to go for the mid lane turret instead. They still haven't taken down the tier 1. They're not going to get it this time either.
Nope. CJ playing some
well, that's about
tight
it.
defense in this one as they try and steal away that blue buff as well.
Barring
and
some major errors, that should be about it.
Space going to grab the blue buff, so will they wait for this next Baron? Probably. They can just go ahead and bait the Baron. They can also do it incredibly fast.
Yep. True enough. You know, if I was that Cassiopeia skin and I had like the little snake heads on my head, I would just use those heads to like carry groceries or something, you know? Free up your arms for other stuff.
But you wouldn't be able to see very well with grocery bags in front of your face.
Well, they're on the side though. It wouldn't block your vision.
I don't know. Grocery bags can get pretty big. Might be difficult.
Well, you just like have the snake heads hang down a bit, you know? Like behind your back or something. Makes it easier. Because you got to get them all in one trip, right?
Right.
So having extra tiny arms on your head might be pretty helpful. See, the other thing I would do too is that when I was done and I had succeeded doing this, I would have the snakeheads like kind of high-five each other. Be like, yeah.
With their mouths.
That's right. Pretty much.
There's not really a lot of 5 in that high five.
Depends on how many teeth are involved, I suppose.
Pretty sure more than, or fewer than.
You have no idea how many teeth snakes have.
I don't know.
I don't either. So we'll just assume I'm right.
I think it's
naturally.
Two fangs.
No, they have more teeth than that. Snakes have more than just 2 teeth.
2 fangs.
Yeah, 2 fangs, but not 2 teeth. I mean, twin fangs is pretty obvious, right? They've got a whole mouth of teeth.
I don't know the answer to this question. I'm not a snake biologist, Doa. I didn't go in. Oh, there's the
flash
engage.
grab on Inagne, knocked away immediately, though. Wild growth on Inagne as well to keep him alive. Meanwhile, Shy gets way back in the enemy lines. Space exhausted, but still doing quite a bit of damage. There's a nice shockwave, though, bringing in a lot of CJ, but KT already on the run. There goes Arrow, rather. And CJ should be able to clean up this fight. Triple kill for Ambition. Wow, look at this. A double for Coco. That is a pretty clean ace, as CJ is ready to end it, perhaps right here, right now. We'll see how fast they can burn through these objectives.
Yeah, they don't have that many minion waves to follow up. Also, death timer is not the longest at 30 minutes in this game, but it looks like they're going to be able to finish.
I believe so. Ambition taking a lot of damage. There's a lot of turret damage coming in, but with that surviving minion wave should be plenty. Arrow and Nagne up in a little bit along with Fixer. They're going for the Nexus, but yeah, there's no way. There's no way. And there it goes. So CJ comes back and takes game 2. GG. So here we go. Picks and bans for game number 3. KT versus CJ, and there's a Vayne ban against Space. This is the most Vayne bans we've seen in years.
Yeah, it's really interesting that we're seeing this. Vayne and Yasuo, okay, well, this is a very interesting ban phase already.
No kidding. What is this, 2013?
Kalista banned once again by KT on the blue side. They banned in all 3 games tonight. This means that Maokai or Azir is going to get through. Those were their 2 other bans in game 1 on blue side. And after Shy's performance, you got to think that maybe that Maokai is a little bit more of a threat.
Gragas banned against KT. They did first pick it in game number 1 and roll that barrel to success. It was a success barrel.
So do you take out the Azir here and try and first pick Cassiopeia? Cassiopeia could also be banned in that last spot by CJ, which is what they did in game 1. But they also took out Sejuani and Alistair in game 1. So there's the Maokai ban. Makes sense.
Yep. Shy did very well on that champion last game.
So what's it going to be? Sejuani or Cassiopeia? These have seemed pretty important to CJ Entus tonight.
I feel like if Cassiopeia is not banned, KT will first pick it. If it is banned,
I think you ban Cassiopeia here.
Yeah, if it is banned, which it probably will be. I wonder if KT is going to first pick
wow.
Sejuani.
Wow.
So now the thing is that if KT goes for Cassiopeia, CJ can grab Rek'Sai.
Or Azir.
Or Azir, that's true too.
And so I guess they feel that they're going to be able to outplay them. So KT for the first time tonight doesn't ban Azir, leaving it up for Coco. So they could take the Cassiopeia, but that Cassiopeia-Azir matchup is a pretty skill-based matchup in the mid lane.
We'll see if Nagne is up for the challenge.
Sivir. Okay. Oh,
Oh,
no, switching up to the
Alistar.
Alistar. Okay.
Wow, interesting. I was wondering if they were going to first pick that Sivir, too. That's what I was kind of predicting, but no, the Alistar. With Thresh still available, is the Alistar just that much of, well, it's more of not showing what your plan is than priority, I suppose.
Alistar is just really strong right now because he does have to sustain in the laning phase. He's got good synergy with champions like Vayne, and he has some nice engage options, obviously, as well. But when there's so much hard CC, if you have like a Rumble, I mean, we've seen so much Sejuani Rumble Alistar work where people just get locked down on an equalizer for a full duration and take a huge amount of damage. Ambition could be playing as Nunu again, but that would give Rek'Sai over to Score, and Score has long been one of the best Rek'Sai players in Korea, so there is a risk associated with that. I think Score would be much more innocuous on the Nunu, so it will be Azir and Nunu. So they're going for the Azir-Nunu combination for the late game, which is why they wanted to take that, but it does make the Gragas and Sejuani bans, in my mind, not quite as impactful.
You know, by first picking that Alistar, that does give them a better LeBlanc game as well, too, because you know the support, at least, is going to probably be pretty squishy. Azir already picked as well, so might be able to make it work. Ziggs, maybe. I kind of like LeBlanc a little bit better for Nagne.
I like the Sivir LeBlanc pick. Go with what worked in the first game, except this game you have the Alistar, which is even better for diving than the Nautilus is.
Definitely.
So you can continue that same play style, and Sivir will be locked in, as will the LeBlanc.
Funky.
Then get funky.
Get funky with the funky lobby music. 2 more picks for CJ.
The question is, are they going to leave their top laner or their mid laner up for last? Since they know the mid laner is going to be LeBlanc, I think you take your mid laner in this round of the draft because KT could get really scary if they're able to pick Hecarim, but they won't pick Hecarim if they don't see a top laner because Gnar is so punishing after Black Cleaver to Hecarim.
True.
So they'll wait to last pick the Gnar. So I think you last pick top lane here if you're CJ. Take the AD now. They've got good protection, two good Blood Boil targets. Thresh
is not a good Blood Boil target, but Jinx is.
Yeah, Thresh is not, but Jinx is. So Thresh, Jinx here, that's a powerful lane, obviously. And you move with your, you have some options here for Blood Boil, and yeah, save that top pick.
All right, wow. Ryze would be interesting, and someday has not shied away from playing some surprising picks in the top lane this series.
This is a good draft. You want to take Hecarim against the Jinx, but you know you're going to be punished for it unless you get a lane swap against the Gnar. So, problematic decisions for KT. They have to have some, like, more waves even still than they already have. Of course, the Sivir is a nice option, but it would be good to have some more backline dive.
Yeah, do you just take the Gnar then?
I think you have to. You have to. You take Gnar Rek'Sai here.
I think you're probably going to be right. Evelyn Rek'Sai gets some nice flanks and onto Jinx, perhaps.
That is an interesting thought that I had not considered before, but yes, if they want to snowball off the early lane, you can get some nice Jinx, or some nice old, oh wow, dangerous. Okay.
They're doing it. They're going for it, so you'd imagine it's going to be a Gnar. And I mean, Shy's had some good Gnar games, but would you, I mean, good, yes, good, as in above average, but not spectacular. And what I was about to say, before I was cut off, Monte Cristo, is that he's not the best Gnar. So does CJ actually want to kind of put their money where their mouth is? I think the Shyvana is going to be a bit better.
It's definitely not better in the 1v1 matchup, but
Shy is better. Yeah, Shy is better on
true.
Shyvana than Gnar, though. So it's a better comfort pick for him anyway.
Yeah, we hadn't discussed that option because Shy is really
like
the only one who plays this.
In Korea.
In Korea, but he drew so many bans during the playoff match against SK Telecom by having some just fantastic Shyvana ultimates, and you can play it with the Smite as well. Be a really interesting match. Man, they scale well into the late game. Great engage. I love it, Shyvana.
All right. Well, we'll see if CJ can make this work. They certainly have many times in the past with Shy's Shyvana. put KT with a really good team for getting onto this Jinx, dealing with her quickly. Frankly, you know, getting onto Azir as well too. The Emperor's Divide, the Sand Soldiers, the zones that Azir creates don't mean quite as much if you can get flanks from Evelynn, if you can get Hecarim and LeBlanc coming in over the top.
The problem is CJ in the late game has insane peel for Jinx. They have multiple knockbacks with Shyvana ults, with Azir ults, great peel with the box and Absolute Zero.
And we have once again entered Summoner's Rift, KT Rolster versus CJ Entus, as you can hear from the fans. And who's going to take it? That's the question. And a question that, if this game goes like the other ones tonight, is going to be answered pretty quickly, actually. A score, getting that ward in barely. Wow. Deciding to flash, yeah.
I had to flash right there because he was cornered. They were going to see him. There's a possibility that he just gets flayed or hooked forever. So now they don't know that he used flash, though.
That's true.
So that flash may not be that impactful, but we'll see how these ganks go and if he actually needs it in the first 5 minutes of this game, or whether that's going to go unpunished.
I mean, pre-6, Evelynn really isn't the type of champion that benefits a lot from early flashes, so
well,
you'd think it'd be okay.
Sometimes you want to stick to people with those hate spikes for a little bit longer in order to finish a kill, because you need that DPS. But
that's kind of if things have gone wrong, though, you know? If things go right, you shouldn't need to flash at all.
Well, I think that's true in most situations.
So if things go right, he won't need it. Good, I'm glad we're agreed. So KT's gonna, or CJ's gonna see this lane swap coming in.
Yep, they got the deep wards, so they are going to match the lane swap here and have a pretty distinct range advantage.
Oh yeah.
On the Sivir Alistar lane. So we'll see how this works out for him. They are going to opt into this one.
And Fixer trying to freeze this as much as he can, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it.
Well,
never mind. They're not. Yeah, he's going to get that level 2 with the 2v2.
Yeah, he didn't know if CJ was there or not, so you have to try and freeze it in that situation regardless, so you maintain control of that space. Already harassing with some of these rockets. Mad Life misses the flay. CJ being quite annoying and trading very well at level 1.
Yep.
There's really nothing you can do.
Range definitely helping. And Score coming in here in the mid lane. Maybe an early gank onto Coco, thinking about it.
Level 2 gank.
Yep, that's right. Nagnite coming in. Oh, he hits him with a chains. They get the flash from Coco. The stun still happens, so Coco going to take a lot of extra damage.
Yeah.
Getting that flash is pretty nice for KT.
Yes. Getting that away, and they weren't going to get that kill even if Score had flashed right there either. Maybe could have gotten a barrier, but definitely not the end of the world. Score not going to find a blue buff on that side of the map, already taken by Ambition. So Ambition looking to 3 buff right here. Mad Life wandering in early, does get seen by the Wolf Spirit, and he's going to catch Evelynn doing the Wolf camp, so Score wants to back out right there. He is in a potentially perilous situation. Space just handling himself up in the top side.
Yep. Arrow just trying to farm, but he's already a little bit behind, getting poked quite a bit and just getting zoned. Now, this 2v2 working out pretty well for CJ.
Now, due to that ward, they have an idea that Evelynn is on the Gromp right now. So they're keeping eyes on the jungler, making sure that Evelynn can't try anything crazy in the top side. So CJ playing a little bit more reserved as a result. They have the Scuttle Crab, but that's not going to be too helpful against Evelynn. And now Score's going to get seen again as he clears this camp. He knows there's a ward there, but he has to clear it so it'll respawn.
Yep.
But that's going to give even more information over to KT. Ambition going to get his second blue buff right now.
That's right. Coco finally catching up in CS. He was down a little bit, but things are stabilized a bit now. So it really, a lot of this really is going to depend on Score. If he can create the plays, because it doesn't look like these lanes are going to win themselves too hard. Except for someday maybe against Shy.
Well, still going to be pretty even and farm focused down there. There's not a big range advantage like you would have with Gnar against the Hecarim. And you know, Hecarim was nerfed this patch. He can't spam that Rampage quite as much as he used to. Did take some nerfs to the mana cost on that Q.
True. Wow, both these top laners getting pretty low. No junglers around to take advantage of it, though. And right now, I mean, KT, I suppose, just really needs to make sure that CJ doesn't take a really early dragon with Nunu.
There's a lot of action happening in the mid lane right now.
Yes, there is. Coco getting stunned a bit. Score and Someday coming in. Coco gets away, though, with his soldier.
Yeah, it looks like Score and Ambition ran into each other as Ambition was trying to wrap around in that mid lane. So
yeah,
a little scuffle erupts, and it's like actually CJ comes out the victor in that little skirmish just by a little bit.
Nice CS lead, though, for Nagne in mid. So throughout this, he's been able to kind of increase his position there.
Well,
and
Coco's had to play back. I mean, the reality is he is playing a flashless champion against Evelyn LeBlanc. There's a really large risk. So it's smarter just to not die, not give up that first blood, and lose some CS for an Arrow.
And Arrow, Fixer pushing him away. A little bit of his shield, though. Arrow gets ignited in a little bit of trouble. Oh, walks into flame. He actually spell shields through it. And first blood for Arrow, not bad, and he may get the double. Getting very close.
Heal.
He's got the flash. He's got the flash. Doesn't want to try it. A little bit too risky. I don't know if they knew where Ambition was, so.
Wow.
Better safe than sorry.
So they really
play. Oh, Coco caught up under turret. Score coming in. It's going to be another kill. This one going to Nagne. Suddenly, KT picking up 2 kills here and jumping out to a little bit of a lead.
using the fact that Coco didn't have that flash up again. Ignite able to make the kill. Madlife pulling Space back into lane right there, but it was a bit of a misplay. When Space took that lantern actually to try and finish that kill, they set themselves up for the 2-man pulverize, which really turned that one around. So actually Fixer being very patient in the lane, waiting for that lantern to be used before he did the pull, but frankly CJ should have seen that one coming.
Well, as it is, this 2v2 lane has just changed a lot until Space goes back because it's a BF sword for Arrow. Space was still just that dagger. Let's watch what happened in the mid lane.
So, yeah, Coco just continues to get caught by the chains even though he dashes over to the Sand Soldier and Score surprises him on the outside. He barely doesn't get a kill there, actually. It was really, really close.
Yeah, Nagne was just getting hammered by both of those Sand Soldiers, and it's going to take it. Here we go. Score coming in again. Smites the Gromp away.
That's just rude.
Yes, it is, but effective. And I wonder if the buffs that the Dragon got is making it harder for Ambition to take such an early Dragon that we've seen Nunu's take a long time. I mean, KT's done a good job of keeping vision over the Dragon pit, but still.
Here comes Score. There's no
kind of
pink ward right there. Madlife is waiting, expecting something to go down. Madlife is here. Nagne.
Well, he missed his chains. Oh, but the Death Sentence does not miss Score. Fixer's there, though, to compensate.
Yeah, as soon as you see Madlife walk out there and you miss the chains, you can no longer go for that gank.
Yep.
Coco also has his flash back up, so probably the best you're going to do is be able to blow the flash. Ambition now walking into the mid lane as well, trying to deter them from making multiple plays right here. But Arrow's just going to go for the Dragon as CJ stacks up on the top side. Someday walking down.
Yeah, Someday not going to take too much damage from that, though. And it looks like KT should be able to secure their first Dragon of the game. Do you think the buffs to Dragon were kind of an indirect nerf to Nunu a bit?
I think Nunu probably still has no problem going through it just because he has, usually if you try and solo that Dragon early as Nunu, you're going to have a couple points in Consume anyway.
I suppose.
If you want to like level 3, you probably have 2 points in Consume and 1 point in Blood Boil or something like that, and 25 additional damage per hit.
Well, as big as the lead that Coco had over Nagne last game, it's been turned around 180. In this game, Nagne with a really decent CS lead over Coco so far in this game.
Well, he needs it. He has to be able to burst members of this CJ Entus roster down.
Yeah, definitely.
Or that's it. It's game over for KT because the sustained damage, he has to kill someone. The sustained damage in a fight of a blood-boiled Azir or a blood-boiled Jinx is way higher than anything KT is going to be able to put out. They have to make picks, and they have to get a big lead here in the early and mid-game, or they will just get massively outscaled.
Yeah, they've got the beginnings of that, but they need to continue to try to follow up with it. We saw them do it very well in game number 1. Nice CS lead for Arrow down in bot lane as well, too. So far, so good for CJ and Coco. And Nagne being very careful about that. Coco already has plenty of damage here.
No, just go for, Nagne can just go for the poke damage over time. Shy starting to win.
Whoa, ult from Shy going in onto Someday for the 1v1. Someday looks like he's going to barely make it out.
Yeah, Shy right there. Someday actually holding onto his ult,
I
so
know,
he was
I
pretty
saw
safe
that.
in that situation. He knew what the damage. There's no ignite from Shy, so getting close right there, but that was the Skirmisher Saber being finished first for Shy because he started with a Ruby Crystal,
Right.
whereas Someday started with the Flask. So he was able to get the components sooner, so he actually
Nice
got some
dodge.
nice true damage down from that Smite, and Someday lost the duel.
Yeah. Lost the duel, but not his life, and that's the important thing. And didn't lose his ult either, which is pretty great. Both top laners holding on to their teleports for now as well.
Advantage on blue side, though, if you're in a top 1v1 like
Yep. Oh, Mad Life. Definite advantage on blue side if you can kill their support. Looks like they will. Fixer gets that one.
Yeah, you don't expect KT to be there, but a lot of pink wards still around that Dragon Pit in order to create that pick.
Yep. Nagne still poking Coco out of lane.
Shy get a proxy farm as a result of this. His Cinder Hulk already completed. And I was just saying, on the blue side, so we saw Shy right there having the Krug buff on Shyvana, but having Gromp in that 1v1 is so much better.
Oh, wow. Are
than
we going to
having-
see?
Yeah, why not dive the Jinx?
Or why not turn around and kill Nunu? Uh-oh. Ambition, a little bit of trouble, walks right into it. There's a headbutt, pulverize Ambition. May have to flash. Oh, gets out on the Lantern. Nice play by Mad Life to rescue his jungler there. So KT not ending up getting anything out of that. There's been a lot of fights around the Dragon Pit when the Dragon's not there this game. Wow,
Oh,
Shy.
Shy got the Krugs, and he got the Gromp actually on the other side of the map in the enemy jungle, and then comes back and takes the Krug as well. So Someday here on a mission under the turret.
Oh,
Not sure where he's going.
I don't know. Okay, ult's back out. Looks like he'll make it, but that was an interesting chain of events for Someday. Just getting chased away from the Krugs by Shy down into kind of an awkward spot. I guess they traded ult for ult. I mean, Coco used his, Someday used his, so it's a bit of a wash.
Yeah, Shy is really pushing Someday around in this top side, especially now that I was talking about, like he said, he has that Gromp buff, and that's just extremely good for trading.
Yeah.
So Shy really holding his own, and there's a reason why SK Telecom banned out this Shyvana after game 1 in the series, the best of 5 that CJ and SKT played. He was such a strong performer on this champion.
Yep.
And again, he's putting all the pressure down, taking the enemy jungle camps away, putting down damage onto the tower, bullying Someday out of lane, getting the CS lead. Shy is massive.
Yeah. So they're really going to need to count on Nagne and Arrow to sort of take care of this, because right now Someday is starting to fall farther and farther behind, losing his turret, straight up losing lane pretty hard to Shy.
Yeah, that's troubling. Very troubling, because if Shy gets too tanky, Nagne will not be able to kill him, and Arrow's going to have to get frightfully close.
It's more of Shy saying, hey, who needs an R anyway? Just play Shyvana. I don't think Someday can fight Shy.
Nope, he's a level down.
Yeah.
Shy hasn't been
pretty close.
shy about... Shy hasn't been shy. Well,
No.
it's that time of the night. Well, Shy hasn't been shy about popping that Smite on a regular basis as well.
Yep. Well, you've got 2 charges, so you've got a lot of opportunities. Score getting poked a bit by Coco. And the next dragon is coming up in about a minute, so that's going to be KT's chance to sort of get another little leg up in this game if they can do it. But if both top laners join the fight, it's certainly going to look a bit better for CJ at this point. And they get the flash from space. That's really nice coming to this dragon, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty huge.
Not to mention, Arrow has Infinity Edge right now. Space hasn't gotten his quite yet. We'll see if he picks it up before Dragon. Meanwhile, Score, oh no, getting really low. Oh, barely lives through that Ignite from Mad Life.
Okay, looks like what happened there was Score got hooked over the wall.
Yeah, I think so.
And then got hit by Space a bunch of times. Space popping his ult at the end, and the Ignite nearly finishing off. And Summer Heal actually saving him
Yeah.
in the end.
And it looks like he might be able to get back by Dragon, because it doesn't look like either team is going to make an attempt for it right away.
Yeah, but the question is, can CJ clear some of these pesky pink wards that are ringing the Dragon Pit at the moment?
Yeah.
KT going to clear some wards of their own. Ambition already here on the bottom side now. Coco not in lane, so Ambition has to be careful. He could get caught in a pincer right here, especially with On the Hunt available for use.
Well, Nagne and Arrow are real dangers for CJ right now, because they both have
Look at this, Shy taking away the
damage.
blue buff while they contest the very nice play from Shy. Knows everybody's down there trying to get position on the Dragon Pit. Can take that objective for free after he's already pushed down that top tier 1. So they secure both blue buffs again for the second time in this game.
Oh, I'd be curious to see the money between the top laners right now. See how far Shy is ahead at the moment.
I guess he's about 600 gold in the lead just based on CS. The fact that he got gold from the turret as well as the global gold, 500 or 600.
Well, that doesn't sound as impressive as I thought it would, so thanks. Never mind.
Well, he doesn't have any kills yet.
CJ activates this dragon. They've managed to get a bit of position, but KT looking like they want to go in. Here's the teleport coming in. Fixer goes deep. Score trying to get a bit of a flank. Nagne coming in. Who's he going to try to blow up? It's going to be Space. Space taken out by Nagne. So kills going well. Someday ulting over the Emperor's Divide onto Coco, the other carry in jeopardy. A kill though for Coco as Shy chases Arrow away. Shy picks up that kill, and CJ turning this fight around big time. They never got to take out Coco, and Someday not able to do much of anything here as CJ turns on that fight. They lost Space early, but somehow held on.
So they caught Space out next to the Dragon Pit without that flash and were able to kill him, but KT made a huge error because we saw Someday actually trying to go past the Emperor's Divide, but fighting in that choke point with the Azir is absolutely perfect. Ambition was also able to get Absolute Zero channeled in the choke. KT can't fight in chokes here. They have to make picks first, and they got the pick out in the open to start that fight. So let's take a look at this right now. So Fixer's going to go in on this. Someday is already on the flank right there. And look at this. Nagne gets a great pick onto Space. So now it's a 5v4 in this fight right now. But Someday overextends. Everybody gets bottlenecked right there from KT. Someday gets isolated, can't do anything at all. And it allows Coco to move forward through the Absolute Zero. That was really good team fight positioning from Coco. Started with the Emperor's Divide, set up those soldiers, and then as soon as Someday's back there and the Absolute Zero's going down, go ahead and move through to the other side of the fight because that choke is still splitting up the members of KT while you can stay as a tight bunch. But yes, KT got that fight, got the pick they wanted, great pick, and then got really greedy moving into that choke point and were beautifully punished by CJ.
Yeah, when as a team you walk into a choke like that, things are not going to go well.
Well, just especially with these two team compositions, CJ is absolutely the king of the choke point in this, and you just need to pop that Sivir ult, use it to get a LeBlanc pick very quickly, and then turn back onto the Dragon and pull them out into the open.
Right. Score not getting a lot done with that. Evelyn either during that fight too.
Well, he's got a Warrior Enchantment, so he certainly has enough damage, but he is going to be quite fragile. And Shy just pretty monstrous now, killing a couple of assists in that last team fight.
Nagne coming up though. Shy could be in a little bit of trouble. CJ chasing as well with Nunu. Nagne trying to get some damage done. He's going to follow Shy through his ultimate. Does he have the burst though? Here comes Someday to finish him off. And Shy still alive. Oh, there we go. Nagne takes him out, but here comes Ambition. Will Nagne get away? Flashes out of that Absolute Zero, but another snowball should do the trick. There we go. Ambition with a kill. Someday manages to make it out. So trading top laner for mid laner, it's going to result in maybe mid lane turret going down in favor of CJ. That's not too good for KT.
Scores here, but he's really low HP, so not quite a finisher onto that yet. KT really committing to that top lane gank, and they didn't get the kill either onto Someday, which I think is what they were really hoping, and they had to abandon bottom lane. This leaves Space alone with the Jinx down there.
Well, this is the second game in a row now where KT is overcommitted to a top lane gank and lost quite a bit because of it.
Yeah, really not a great play right there. Coco was easily able to push out, and that's the scary thing. Turrets go down real quick if there's an Azir and a Jinx on the other team. You leave them unattended in lane, and they will absolutely shred them.
Yep.
So you have a lot of fast push options with this composition that CJ's winning, and Shy's dominance over the top lane has been the big problem for KT, the nut that they haven't been able to crack this game. And because Nagne has had to roam, look at this. Coco's right back in terms of CS right now, and they're scaling into the mid game. So KT, I think, in really big trouble.
Yeah, it's starting to look that way.
The fact that they're behind in gold at 20 minutes with a Warrior Enchant Evelynn and this particular composition against the late game powerhouse that is the CJ comp, not likely that KT is going to come back into this one unless they can get some absolutely stellar picks. They have to look around the map and make set traps. Meanwhile, Shy just going to try and take blue buff again.
Yeah, why not? Someday comes in. Looks like Nognail will get it, though. And there's a turret, though, taken by CJ.
Yeah, but it distracts them enough. It requires so many people just to deal with the blue buff pressure that there's a turret going down. And now Coco's going to sit here with that Blood Boil in the mid lane, just continuously pushing up that wave.
It's been decision-making, too, for KT. That's been the problem this game. You know, overcommitting to ganks, not paying attention to team positioning during fights. So, it's the team. They need to tighten things up a little bit. But it may be too late for this series.
Yeah, maybe. Well, still going to be moving forward and continually putting the pressure onto KT.
Yep.
Love that immediate use of the Azir passive right there. All three lanes dominated with a minute left. Deep wards already in, so great setup. Not going to clear the one by Raptor, but plenty more where that came from. And CJ also has the time to get more in right now. They've got Mad Life and Ambition well in advance right there. They can take out the Raptor buff as well if they want it. Well, actually, no smite up, so he can't take it.
Well, at least he can kill the Raptor.
And he's so far ahead of this Evelynn, too. 87 to 58 in terms of CS. Yeah. He's 3 levels up.
Wow.
Oh, no, only
really?
1 level up. Sorry.
I was going to say.
I misread the screen.
Our monitors are kind of small. It's true.
Still,
like KT's trying to get a little bit of positioning over the Dragon Pit here, but again, I feel like against this team comp, you really can't fight too much head-to-head. They're going to need to find
No, they need to get that vision advantage sooner. So they're trying to do that now, but the problem is there's so many deep wards in their jungle that KT's going to know everything about their movement on the map.
Right.
So there's not really a lot they can do. They have to get a pick in order to fight this. They cannot fight a team fight as things sit currently.
So do you just give this dragon up then? Looks like they will. Thinking about it.
It's a really tough situation because you give this dragon up and there's not hope for you really in the late game either, right?
Yeah.
So
you have to make a play. Make a play now. They will just give the dragon up though.
Yeah, Shy walking down there too. They had already set up his 5 members, following Sunday onto that side of the map. Shy actually having a Raptor buff right there on his way over just to get some additional ward clearance done. Now they're
Nagne trying to pop in for some damage, but not getting a lot done.
Well, they saw space on the bottom side, so they thought maybe if they could get some poke, they could actually follow it up, but nobody really taking too much damage. They're still going to try. But 1 sigil on the Mad Life, not really going to help.
Not a whole lot, no.
Coco also building super safe this game. Went for an Abyssal Scepter as his second item after that Morellonomicon. So about as conservative as you can get. Just making sure that he doesn't get bursted down by that LeBlanc again, that he can play out his mid lane and have that survivability for a late game Azir, but bypassing some higher damage on the way to do so. Nagne just bounced into a wall right there.
That'll happen. Looks like Someday's going for Trinity Force, but it's going to be a while till he finishes that. Oh, Fixer getting poked so hard. Oh, man. That was very close to a kill. Low in the rocket. Fixer has to pop that ult to stay alive. Descendants just barely misses.
Well, Bad Life flashed for that.
He tried.
Was airballing everything. Thought they might be able to follow up, but nice ult pop from Fixer right there at the very last second to avoid dying to the Jinx rocket.
It probably would have killed him too.
Yes, almost certainly.
Well, Someday getting closer to that Trinity Force. He's got the Sheen now.
What's the Trinity Force going to do though? Maybe
help
if
him
he's
kill Jinx, I guess.
Yeah, if he's lucky, he'll kill Jinx. But with the, like I said, with the amount of
Nagne catches Coco here. Emperor's Divide knocks Coco away, and there's Mad Life. Nice headbutt pulverized though. Mad Life and Coco getting taken out by KT. good catch, and that's what KT needs to do if they want to
exactly
have
what they
any
need to
chance
do.
in this game.
Saw that opportunity, took it immediately. Now, can they translate it anything? They're going to try and get a tower right here. That's not really enough, though.
Or is there? It looks like there might be after all. Yeah, mid-turret taken out by KT, able to power their way through it. They give up the passive on LeBlanc to do it, but Nagne can just go back and buy.
Now, they do catch up in gold, and Sunday looks like he's going to be able to take the top turret as well.
Wow.
But is that going to be enough? They still have that same issue of scaling. If they continue to get picks like that, though, they can make it work.
Yeah, KT with a little bit of new life here for the moment anyway. But again, they need to keep doing that, and it's going to get harder and harder as CJ gets stronger and stronger.
And they get more defensive items. You know, eventually, we'll probably be looking at a lot of Banshee's Veils on this team.
Yeah, that said, Trinity Force finished for Someday now. Void Staff done for Nagne. And so KT
That
is
Void
putting
Staff
together some power.
Really important.
Yeah.
Really important because of the MR items that are already on mid and top lane on CJ. So this is a good time for LeBlanc to get control of this game back again if Nagne can handle it. Someday with the Trinity Force completed as well, but still Shy. Chasing him around a little bit.
Yeah, that'll happen. Historically, Dragon versus Horse goes in the favor of the Dragon.
Yes, for all those dragons in history.
Right, you know. History Channel. History Channel. Pretty sure I saw that one. Probably like a all-day Our Dragons Real marathon. Sounds like typical History Channel material these days.
Fair enough. So big defense being mounted to this bottom turret. Will CJ go on this one? Big crits.
Oh, Arrow taking a lot of damage. Are we going to see the rocket from space? Not quite.
No, they get the turret, though, and back off with the Sivir ultimate. So that's some more gold in KT's pocket as they start to move ahead in that regard here even more.
Yeah, another little lead for KT. And Someday chasing down Shy now. Trying to bait Shy in because the other members of his team were close enough to respond, I suppose. All right, so CJ wants to put on some of their own pressure now at this point in the mid lane. But
yeah,
KT
why
could
not?
get
They
a
go
nice
for a tier 2. There's the Azir passive coming in. They could just chase this all the way through. They have such a strong siege with this composition. This is when you want to start rolling.
Pretty good flank for KT, though. Oh, Score, does he have his ult? He does. They get the turret. They pull in Someday. Score coming in. There's a big ult slowing down a lot of people. Someday flayed away, though, so it looks like KT is not going to be able to follow this up at all.
Really good response from CJ. Go ahead,
Yeah.
group up, charge down the mid lane right as you have some minion wave pressure reversing the other direction from those turrets going down, and you cleaning up the waves afterwards. So very decisive. Go in, pop the Azir ult, mount that defense in the mid lane.
Yep. KT, though, getting an opportunity to get a little bit more positioning on the map. 30 seconds until Dragon's up. And KT with all the time in the world to get all the vision they want around that.
Yeah, important Dragon for KT here, too. They have the chance to at least equalize. And there's the Trinity Force. It's been done for a while now for Someday. He's got the Home Guard enchantment as well, so this may be a hell of a flank. Now, we see how fast space can die. Nagne got onto him very effectively. If Hecarim does too, they don't need too many abilities just to take him out of the fight immediately. He's the focal point. Shy in the top lane. Shy has full rage, so I have to be careful.
Oh, Fixer needs to not get caught here. Ooh, boy, that was close.
Dodging some skill shots, and here's the TP in from Shy.
Yeah, CJ just wanted to
Hecarim
be
still
there.
waiting.
Yep. And KT in kind of an awkward position right now. Do they want to maybe take the tier 2? I don't know. That's a third dragon. That'd be kind of dangerous. Ult pop for Sivir. Where's the teleport? Shy's already, or Sunday's already there. Gets pushed away. Though the dragon is what KT wants. Ambition still trying to make something happen. Coco in the junk. There's a nice headbutt. Whoa, what an ult from Someday coming in as well. Ambition wastes that ult sort of space. Gets one kill though. Will he survive? He's excited now. That's a double kill. Still alive. CJ barely clinging to life. and they're going to win this fight. Wow, that was close. That was so close.
Ricochet
Arrow's still
is
there,
super
though.
dangerous right now. If Arrow gets a good Ricochet auto off.
He's going to try.
Okay, tried to get in there. Couldn't quite
so
make
close.
it work.
So close for KT.
That was so well thought by both teams, actually.
Yeah. Wow.
Sunday went on to an epic journey underneath the turret, which eventually killed him. But they couldn't kill Space quite fast enough there before all of that peel came in.
Wow, it was
he
close.
lived with just a sliver of health. But look at how that flank came in. This is beautifully executed by KT. So traps are there zoning. As soon as it goes down, watch what happens to Space right here. Fixer, great setup, straight into the ult. Nagne also there. Space ignited, so close to dying, but look at the peel. The immediate response from CJ as well, bouncing everybody out of that fight. They knew what the engage was going to look like coming in.
Yeah.
And then from behind that Emperor's Divide, Coco had enough HP to just turn that one around. Someday gets poked by a Sand Soldier, and then
Wah, wah. Oops.
that happened.
That Emperor's Divide really saved the fight for CJ as well, too.
That was really well thought by both teams, however.
Yeah.
You could see that they had a very clear idea of how that team fight was supposed to play out for both their compositions, and both executed on it, and CJ just under the narrowest of margins escaping.
Well, Score couldn't quite get the blue buff from Shy there, but KT chasing as well. Nagne really, really low, though. Wow, what happened there? Didn't quite miss it. Maybe it was a fight with Coco or something?
Yeah, it must have been.
It's the only one nearby. Well, still a pretty close game, but CJ definitely with the edge now.
Yeah, not so much armor on KT yet either, so Space has been able to delay his last Whisper with a Vamp Scepter just for that extra sustain in these team fights, which has proven quite crucial, but yeah, only the starting hint of a Frozen Heart onto Someday. Just has that Glacial Shroud right now, so Space...
He's had that for a while, though, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's getting pretty close to that Frozen Heart.
Yeah, that's going to be a big turning point in terms of Space's ability to kill him.
Right. Man, that last fight was so close. That was one of the closest
really
team fights
team
I've ever
fight.
seen. Yeah. You don't see team fights get that close too often. Well, Arrow able to clear some wards out in the Baron pit at least. Someday,
here we go.
Is he going to find that ult? There it is on the Space. Fears him away from the turn. Oh, but Arrow gets the auto yet
now,
again.
can they get the Baron off this is the question.
That
How
is the
much
question.
can they get here?
Well, CJ needs to defend it pretty vigorously here. But it's hard to do without your Jinx.
Oh, man. They're not actually committing to this maybe quite enough right now. CJ still being annoying around the Baron pit, trying to push forward. There we go.
Score comes in with the flank here. Emperor's Divide used early. Coco goes out on the Lantern, pops at his Azir turret as well, too. Now KT can turn on the Baron, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Space still 14 seconds till he comes out.
Now, there's still a reasonable expectation for a steal right here. Remember, CJ has a Consume and 2 Smites.
Oh, man,
so this is
so
risky.
dangerous.
They have to turn on this.
Yeah, KT can't commit to this right now. Nice knockups from Fixer. Shy in the middle of everything here. The tanky members of CJ making a difference, getting KT lower and lower. Shy backs off. Whoa, the rocket goes right through the middle of everyone. So KT gets a kill, but they are pushed away from Baron, and that's the important thing for CJ right now.
CJ right now, doesn't matter if Ambition died right there. One kill is not that big in the grand course of this game. CJ knows that they're going to have the advantage in the late game regardless.
Yeah.
So the closer that CJ can push this to 6 items, it's fine. Just don't let KT get that Baron so that they can close the game efficiently. Someday going right back to the Baron pit, though. Space is in bottom lane. This is risky. Coco's back at base. They could rush the Baron.
And that's exactly what they're doing. Someday starts it right now. Shy throws a ward in, so CJ knows what's up. Space trying to get there as fast as he can. He's got no ult to even participate with Shy. Locked up, Nagne doing a great job of zoning. The Baron getting lower and lower. CJ coming in to try to steal it. Can they get it away? Meanwhile, Shy goes nearly down. The Baron taken by KT. Nagne very low. They have to get out of there, but mission accomplished. KT able to get that Baron because Space down in the bot lane, not able to participate.
I don't know why you would sacrifice Ambition to stop that Baron and then immediately send your AD carry into the bottom lane.
Very odd.
While KT could just rush the Baron again. It was a great call from KT based on what they had seen after that failed Baron attempt, just to go right back on it again. But you don't send your AD carry in that situation into the bottom side when you have a top laner with his teleport up. To really tremendous shot calling mistake right there from CJ.
Yeah, hard to tell what they're thinking. Maybe they thought they just had KT intimidated enough that they wouldn't try it.
Now they have a 0, so the game's not over. They could turtle really well with this composition.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, this is still a very close game. I would say probably the closest game we've seen so far this season yet. Agne, ooh, got to be careful there. Got hit with the death sentence. KT still gets that tier 2 turret in bot lane.
Yeah, CJ wasn't set up in a good place to defend that. The Shy was still pushing out the wave in the top side, but they should be able to group and save the tier 2 in the mid lane, or at least delay it going down. Drag it up in 10 seconds, however. That's a big takeaway from KT to stop this 5 dragon pressure from CJ. CJ, they're going to fight this.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, into the choke. They're going to push Ambition away. He's going to pop back over, but then someday not finding that flank. They've got Ambition low, though. So can they just burn down this dragon? It looks like they can. They're already doing it. Yeah, they'll get this dragon. So a nice little quasi-pick, I suppose you could say, to get Ambition out of the fight.
Also just delays that Baron buff where they're actually going to be able to siege with that for a while longer.
Yeah.
Keeping them in the jungle right there. Nobody in the mid lane to defend this, however, for CJ. Space is going to take the red buff instead. They're just going to straight up give up this tower at tier 2.
I guess so. So this entire game has been sort of a series of KT getting like 2,000 to 3,000 gold leads and then CJ coming back and taking it away.
Yep.
But KT so far, overall, I think has had the better engages in team fights by just a little bit. They've been able to find the picks. They've been able to find the flanks.
They've been setting it up really nicely to put Space and Coco in an uncomfortable position on champions that don't have a lot of mobility. And CJ, they need to find those chokes again. Still, though, I mean, you have to like CJ's odds at 6 items, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, that team is unbelievably strong in the super late game, and we're pretty much there.
We're getting there, and effectively, especially when Coco gets that Zhonya's Hourglass, so he's not going to be as vulnerable to the flanks that are coming in.
Right.
Big change. Also, Space, you can see going for the Banshee's Veil there. Pretty obvious item to get at this stage to absorb one of those big cooldowns, whether it's going to be a devastating charge from Hecarim or an ult from Evelynn or something like that.
Wonder if Coco is ever going to sell his Doran's ring.
Why would you buy wards? And here's the trap from CJ being set in the brush.
Or is it a trap from KT? Are they trapped in the brush? Nobody's trapped in the brush now.
It's over.
It's just a brush.
The brush trap is ended.
That's right. It was a brush with death, you could say. It's going to be that time of night, isn't it?
There was no death, though.
Well, it was just a brush. Just a brushing. Just getting a little bit close to death. Enough to kind of make you worry a little bit.
So double Frozen Heart down onto KT now. Of course, against this Jinx, it's going to be an amazing help.
Yeah.
As Evelynn slowly gets tankier in this one. Score actually surprisingly hasn't died this game.
The immortal Score back again.
Harder to be immortal on a jungle champion, though, considering that he has to engage.
It's true. Much easier to be immortal where you just sit back and
play Ezreal and just have 2 flashes. Yeah.
Just clean up, throw things from afar, and laugh your AD carry laugh.
Those guys are jerks.
Yeah, no kidding. Easy life.
Never having to think, just having to push buttons really quickly.
Yeah. All you have to do is kill minions that are weak. All you do is prey on the weak as an AD carry. Minions, players, monsters, it's all the same.
You can clean them up.
Yep. Don't try to impress me. Imp. Piglet. I'm not impressed. Well, the calm before the storm. CJ getting some time to farm up even more. Still no Zhonyas for Coco, though. They're giving him plenty of farm in the bot
really,
lane.
really close now.
Yeah, he should have it on this back.
There it is.
And he does. Okay, yeah. It's big.
It's big timing for him. Still no Void Staff, though, on this team composition that is finally getting a lot of MR on it someday. After his Frozen Heart picking up the Cowl. Still no Locket on the side of KT Rolster, though.
Looks like the next big fight is going to be over Baron in about a minute. KT already setting up plenty of vision. And by keeping CJ bottled up the way they have, they've got all the control in the world over this Baron pit right now.
Space also just getting more and more survivability.
Yeah.
I mean, if he gets a Bloodthirster, the shield combined with that Spectre's Cowl or a Banshee's Veil is going to drastically increase his chances of surviving that backline dive that KT keeps trying to execute on him.
That should help quite a bit. Oh, Dragon and Baron coming up so close to each other, too. This could either be very good for KT or good for CJ. Do you think CJ could just go ahead and grab that 4th dragon and then just count on their ability to turtle out against a Baron-powered KT?
Probably. They'd lose maybe 1 tier 2 for it, but KT isn't the best at diving towers right here because they need that flank. And if they all run underneath the tower, then CJ is just going to hit them with a million bounce backs, right?
Right.
From Shyvana and from Azir. So KT doesn't have a lot of tower diving options. So yeah, I think there's something to be said for just trying to win the game based on dragon stacks if you're CJ right now. If you have to make that trade as CJ, at this point, I think it's better to get the dragon than it is to get the Baron. As weird as that is.
Well, I mean, judging by the state of the game, it makes a lot of sense. CJ, though, trying to get somebody, and that somebody is a red buff. Nagne, though, lurking by the Krugs, looking for picks. Everyone looking for picks right now.
Yeah, Shy really just needed to clean out this top lane as KT collects around that Baron. Not too many wards, a lot of them already eliminated by CJ, especially some of the deeper ones. Someday is going to recall right now, start setting up for a home guard engage now that both Dragon and Baron are available. They're looking for that moment of weakness from CJ where they're spread out and they can get that quick pick. But Shy already joining up with his team.
Yeah.
Ooh, deep ward there. Space just finished Banshee's Veil. That's really important, actually. He went back and picked up that item after getting the red buff.
Yep. All right, Dragon being taken by CJ right now, and his score going to come in with that flank. There it is. Alt-U scoring a little bit of trouble. Nice knockups from Fixer. Emperor's Divide pushes KT away. But here comes Someday from behind, though. He's all over Coco. Coco in a little bit of trouble, gets taken down. Arrow being pushed away. He's kind of on his own right now. Another knockup onto Mad Life and Ambition. Space, so there we go. Someday, oh, Mad Life pulls him away from the AD carry. It's big. Fixer takes out Shy, though. A double kill in Space is getting excited, and so are the CJ fans. As CJ, man, I think Mad Life really saved the day with that death sentence onto Someday.
Such a good peel for Space right there from the entire team all around, actually. Coco sacrificing himself.
Oh, that was close.
Close call, but at the end, Space was actually able to heal up a lot thanks to that one Vamp Scepter. Now let's take a look at this fight again. First off, great flank by Score, and Fixer hits both Space and Coco with those abilities. But there we go, flash over the wall from Coco after he gets hit by this distortion from LeBlanc and uses his Zonias. But look at how well Space plays around the divide right there. He's able to get a lot of auto attacks out of Fixer, but Someday prevents that first reset from going down. Mad Life grabs him with that hook.
Yeah.
And even though Shy dies, everyone else just too low to deal with a Jinx.
You have to wonder a bit if Someday had ulted towards Jinx instead of Coco on this Azir, if things had gone a little bit differently.
Well, either way, you're going to get a blood-boiled late-game carry to deal with. So, I mean, it's kind of the lesser of two evils. And also, Coco used that Zonia's Hourglass pretty well in that team fight. Space had his Banshee's Veil popped, actually looked like by Score's ultimate, so that was pretty clutch that didn't hit him.
True.
But in spite of that dragon, Still a 5K gold lead for KT, and another extremely even team fight. And Baron is still up, so there's still something to fight over right here, should they so choose. Now, Shy has TP advantage, so CJ can play this one out a little more slowly, and they now are threatening 5 dragons, so KT may just...
No, they're going for the Baron right now. Ambition there. Here's a comes the teleport from Shy. KT, they may need to back off from this one. Okay, they will.
They forced the TP. They just didn't want this split push pressure to keep going.
Yeah.
So they had to do something to get the teleport out.
Makes sense. With that TP disadvantage, it's good to catch that. Dogne almost getting caught himself. And CJ, yeah, just rushing down the mid lane saying, all right, if you want Baron, we're going to take a couple turrets for it. A little bit of damage on the Shyvana.
Slow poke for KT while CJ just backs off and maintains their position. They want to fight this off of that next dragon more than likely.
Yeah. Ambition recalled. And if KT realizes that, they can make a play, but it's too late already.
Score has GA now. That is very interesting because him reviving in fights, he's actually going to do some decent damage with that warrior and champion.
Seems that way. Oh boy. Nagne could come in from the flank here as well too. KT so close to setting up something pretty strong there.
CJ doing a good job of...
Oh, score over the wall onto Ambition. That's a lot of damage. Oh, he misses chains. Either way, he pokes out Ambition quite a bit, and that may be KT's cue to go for this Baron. Yeah, Ambition recalling. Nope, canceling it.
Oh.
Pause.
I'm so sad. This is such a high
man.
tension moment as KT is going to start this Baron right now after getting that good poke on Ambition. Remember, Ambition can just heal up a little bit by consuming some of the jungle camps on the way over. So we're looking at probably what's going to be a pretty big fight at this Baron as KT attempts to pick it up one more time. Wow, this has been a really good game.
Yeah, it really has. Best game of the season, I think, so far. It's been very close, very back and forth the entire time. And, you know, with the lead that KT has gold-wise and turret-wise, that's actually just making it even. That doesn't actually, like, give KT a lead. That just means this game is even right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think KT has pulled off some really hard engages in this game that has allowed them to stick around, even though CJ has so much peel for this Jinx. Jinx getting a Bloodthirster could be pretty important, but Space not having quite enough money for that yet.
Where'd he go?
Vanished.
Into space. Are we actually having a bathroom break? Is that what's happening? Is that what's happening right now?
Is this a bathroom emergency?
I think it might be.
It's like, I really have to pee before this team fight.
When you gotta go, you gotta go. Wow. I'm surprised we allow that. Well.
It's been this has been a pretty long best of 3 though, and a lot of these players are trying to talk about strategy in between the games, so sometimes there's not a lot of time.
True, I suppose.
Goes like, what's going on?
It's like, yeah, the KT players have no idea, man. Ambition is just reclining. He's like, how will I?
Take it easy. Put your knees up, you know, while you're on the break. Nice relaxing break. He's like, well, I got poked out of this.
That's the face of a man who's wondering what fine wine he will select when he gets home.
After this victory, after I steal this next Baron.
That's right. After I consume
which vintage should I have tonight?
And Arrow. He's kind of hanging out. He's like, I'll never play Draven again. There we go. He's back. All right, wonderful. All refreshed? Good. Good. Needs to freshen up a bit before the team fight. Wants to look his best, you know, coming into this one.
It's important. He's like, ladies, watch me while I do my work.
Now, I'm ready. All right, here we go. Back in, and what's going to happen? The Baron being taken by KT. This could be very, very dangerous. Baron getting low. Ambition. Going to try to, KT pulling off for a second, faking. Someday, ready to push Ambition back. Mad Life ready to go in. Baron getting very, very low. And he steals it! He steals it! but do they win the fight? Emperor's Divide looking pretty good. KT someday back over the Emperor's Divide. Fixer very, very low space, getting excited now. And CJ looks like they're going to get the Baron and a lot more than that as Fixer goes down. Well, KT, you took the risk.
I was right.
That was about
Ambition
it.
did steal the Baron. I
He
called
did.
him.
He did.
That fight.
Well, geez, he kind of had it handed to him on a silver platter. I mean, you just sort of sit there. You're like, oh, it's getting lower. You ready,
Well,
Ambition?
The problem
Jeez.
with that is KT was trying to set up a point. Oh,
Nagne coming in, looking
he actually gets
aggressive.
bounced by Mad Life right there. That was
Yeah.
pretty nice to prevent him from actually comboing. But
Yeah, I don't think that this game is going to go any farther
But that's
here.
the problem. That is not a 50-50 Baron because CJ has the same number of smites as KT, but they also have consumed.
So look at that. A kill on the Shy, but how about that space? You only would have had to hold it for like 30 more seconds. You couldn't do it, but either way, CJ did it. And they take game 3 in our closest, probably best series so far this season.